Hello, chatto! It's Thursday, and coming up today on Building a Nation with Wisła Kraków, the title race in Poland yet again is mental. 6 teams within 6 points of each other with 7 games to go. A little gap in between, but this is Poland. Anything could happen. The 7th place team will probably win the entire fucking thing. In other news, our youth intake was absolutely goated. And we got 2 players with 5-star potential, one of whom looks like he could be a genuine star, and yet another guy in the pipeline of beautifulness at fullback. All that and more coming up today on Building a Nation with Wisła Kraków. And yes! Yeah, I haven't actually worn this on the stream yet, I just realised. That's a good point. I realised I'd never done that. Yoga? Yoga? Whatever do you mean? Vintage. £3. It's a company called Goose and Gander. They make you do realise, chat, basically, if you just randomly trigger them, I will just stop and turn them all off, and it won't be any fun for anybody. That's kind of the point of them. Like, ultimately, if you don't want to use them in context, that's totally fine. I'll just turn them off. It's a bit like when we had that other thing for, what was that thing? Oh, the lurk command that we had back in the day. And it lasted all of 10 minutes. Not lurk command. There was something we had. I can't remember what it was. But yeah, where do we even begin? I mean, you're welcome to keep doing it, but like, all I'm saying is that contextually they're great, but otherwise it's sort of defeats the point of them, I suppose. Regardless, yeah, Goose and Gander is the name of the company. They just make goose-related products, not made with geese. Crucially, not made with geese, as far as I'm aware. I'll be having words if they are. Where do we even begin with the bloody Champions League stuff, honestly? I, in my classic way, had forgotten that it was happening and didn't notice it until group chats I was in started going off, and I went, oh, what's all this about? Oh! No geese were harmed, as far as I know, at least. MTK throwback. MTK throwback? Hang on, MTK throwback of what percent? Hang on one sec. Get off that. There we go. On the geese. No geese were harmed. Yeah, it's crazy. Geese. Oh no, I just really like geese. I've just been enjoying geese. I think that MTK was the beginning of the geese, but moving here was the true continuation to me enjoying geese more and more and more. Basically. I still need to get that tattoo. I promised I wouldn't. I just haven't got it yet. I know, Ben. I watched the highlights of all the games this morning except for the Benfica one, which I watched last night, because when I saw what happened, I was like, I'm watching that first. And I'll tell you what, personally, Ben, that penalty was such bullshit. I hate the European handball rule, the one that they seem to use in the Champions League. The fact that it comes off Barkala's arm, I think it was Barkala, onto, I think it was Miley's hand or whatever, and that's somehow a penalty. It just baffles me, the way that European... It's like, so essentially, if it touches any defender's arm at any stage, no matter what the context is, it's just a penalty, apparently. And I'm just like, what is that? The fact they still gave it as well after the fucking... fact that it hit his arm first. Mad. It feels like the after... I bet it does. John, thank you very much for the gifted sub to Mr. T. That is incredibly kind of you. T, those screenshots that you put out on Twitter yesterday. Magnifique. I absolutely love that layout. It looks tremendous. It was, I was playing some Plymouth Save yesterday afternoon, and I was just sat there thinking, God, it'd be nice if I could see the league table right now. God, it would be good. Honestly, Anarith, Goose, Capybara is more of a channel thing. Okay, here's the thing. SecondYellowCard, Capybara. Matt, the person, the goose, you know? Yeah. It's odd that Karabag was so bad. Maybe it's... Karabag had already qualified, hadn't they, for the next round? They were realistically not going to get much more progression, so I guess they just weren't asked. It's better right now. Yeah, so my issue is, I suppose, the one thing I'm not super keen on, this is just a pure aesthetic thing, is I actually quite like the colour scheme of the game as it is, and I tend to avoid any skins that change that too much with any game, regardless, for the most part. So I'm going to wait for a little bit to see what else is kind of happening, basically, because I don't like changing the overall aesthetic of the game. I like the function more than pure aesthetics with regards to skins. That's where I really like using them, particularly when it comes to creating content as well. I find that people can be quite jarred by things if it suddenly looks completely different as far as like color schemes and aesthetics and stuff like that. So for the moment, I'm going to stick with this and just sort of see what happens in the market, I guess. But it's incredible work. I love that you've already figured out how to do that, though. It's definitely showing that people... The ingenuity of the FM community is absolutely insane. The default colors option. Oh, is there? Sorry, my apologies. All the screenshots I saw had like backgrounds and stuff on them, so I just assumed that was all stuff that was built in. Even better. In that case, I will be looking after stream. Have you got a download? I'm sure you do. I couldn't see one immediately yesterday, but I was only briefly looking, to be fair. Right. It's the derby against Cracovia. I've already set the team up. This is kind of not for all the marbles, but it's for a lot of the marbles. Like, crucially. Did Bodder get... So that was gone under the radar. I didn't even notice. What happened with Bodder last night, then? Interesting, our star player. Oh, the guy! Oh, sorry, no. You meant our star player. I thought you meant your guy from NEC. Fuck yeah. They beat Atletico. Fuck yeah. Oh, yes. I saw a sweeper tweet that showed that the teams that they'd beaten in Europe this year, and it had Atletico on it. And I didn't tweet that was last night. There were so many of the... Yeah, I'll definitely get on that later then, because basically, if it's keeping the default colors and it adds all that extra functionality, then... Is it compatible, Mr. Teeny, with other mods? Because I already have a mod that I use for things like scouting inbox stuff, and I really can't live without that. So I don't know how this stuff works, genuinely, because I don't know how skins for 24, because they're not really skins, I suppose, actually function at the moment. Dubai Dan, thank you very much for the 4 months, my friend. That's very kind of you. Do not want to... No. Yeah. The stream's in a nutshell, pretty much. Right there. Love to see it. Man City and Atletico. I mean, hey. It's incredible, really, isn't it? It just is. Thurman Hattrick can come in. Well... The way he's been playing lately, I don't see why not. Also, I did something on FM yesterday on my Plymouth save that I have legitimately never done in my entire history of playing Football Manager. So I have a slight variation on this tactic. Link to the mod. Exclamation mark... Oh, fuck. What is it called? We do have a link to it. I can't remember what the bloody command is, chat. Shit. I genuinely don't know what the link is. It's... Let me just check. Because I've now got to go through the huge list and try and figure out which one it was. I wonder if it's just exclamation mark Saz. I genuinely can't know. Scouting, there you go. Is it just exclamation mark mod? That makes sense, yeah. That's all. Basically, it messes with things like the transfer room in and the scouting recommendations screen. Essentially, it goes with the UI table view or whatever it's called. Or something. All of us. Except half. Fuck that guy. Right, okay. Oh. Because I wouldn't be able to... I'd rather... It's one of those things where I'll always choose the scouting one just because that currently is giving me so much functionality. Although, my God, if there was a way to make them both work, it'd be incredible. Oh. They have a Thai guy. Wait, they bought a Thai guy as well. Where's the Thai guy? Oh, wait, no. Was he on the bench? Oh, yeah. Wait, no. Oh, there he is. Wait, I remember that name. Who made it? Saz. S-A-S, as in, like, the skin creator. Oh, sorry, yes. What did I never do? Kept 10 straight clean sheets in the league. In FM, it's nigh on impossible to do that because you knew how goals goes in. You know how goals goes in. Excuse me, chat. Just going to refresh myself. Right, I'm back. Language mod updated. Back to being able to speak English again, in theory. One sec. Just do a full wipe. Cool, the Windows button doesn't work anymore, apparently. One more. Okay. You know how in FM, pretty much, you can concede a goal off someone's arse so incredibly easily that it becomes almost impossible to do something like that over a long period of time. So with my Plymouth save... it was 11 straight wins, but 10 in a row without conceding a goal in League One. I have never, ever done anything like that before. I just kept thinking that at some point it's going to end, and it eventually did with a 1-1 draw against Blackpool, such is life. But I couldn't believe it. You just expect it to eventually go in the net, but it just never did. Yeah, very much X the doubt on the old English there, but I'm back now. Fluid, fluent, all of the words. Call the bondulants and whatnot. I've noticed you're trying to speak English. You're doing a terrible job of it. Yeah, I went for a little pint this morning just to, limber up before stream. So basically, Anarith, I have a slight variation on the tactic that I play with Plymouth. Basically, It's all the same stuff that we use here, except it's way more aggressive in terms of its pressing. So it's got a much higher line. They step up and condense the space really, really effectively. But other than that, it's relatively similar for the most part. I just finished an intensive language course. Something tells me I'm going to need another one at this rate. By the way, Jagiellonia won their game that they've played ahead of us. So now they are now tied at the top of the league with Cracovia, but have played an extra game, crucially. So it hangs in the balance still. This is the game, really. If we lose this, it becomes incredibly difficult for us to win the league. If we win this, it doesn't become easy, but we kind of need to at least not lose. That's really what it comes down to. Just don't lose away at Cracovia. Their run-in is quite favourable. They've got quite a lot of lower half sides to play against, whereas we've still got some tough games to come. We just need to stay in this. There's a chance. There's a massive chance. Just to set the scene for you, my friends, just because I realised I probably didn't do a very good job of that. This is the way the league looks currently. Cracovia, as things stand at least, will be on 56. Jagiellonia 55. Us 54. Then there's a 7-point gap back to Corona and Legia, although Corona haven't actually played yet. So in theory, if they won that game, they'd be back in it as well. And you know how Poland be. Look at the form on teams 4 through 6. It's so Poland coded. Shout out to Rook as well with 4 straight wins themselves. I can never work out which order this is in. Is it left? It should be left to right, right? I think it is. And then, yeah. One thing I also hadn't noticed was just how bad Polonia, Bitom, have been over the last 9 matches. They've lost all but one of them and they drew the other one. They were right in the battle for relegation and now they're dead. Also, shout out to the relegation battle. 2 points between 12th and 17th. There are literally 4 teams tied on 27 points. It's insane. It's just, yeah, Legia have fallen off quite hard over the last few matches for whatever reason. Legia kind of haven't recovered since they lost to us. Their biggest issue is they don't score enough. Neither do Corona, to be fair. Rakov get relegated. They've been circling the drain for about 3 years now. Truly, they have been bad, man. Acknowledging Poland. But I got the pronunciations. I'm actually tempted to make a video, like a little mini, like a TikTok or something, a weird FM perhaps, just about the craziness of our league in Poland, contrasting it to real life. So the teams that were in Europe this year that might have been affected by that, obviously us, Legia, Lechia, and Corona. No, and Piast-Gliwice. No, it was Brook. Oh no, they got knocked out super earlier. Wait, so who was in Europe? Legia? Yeah, I don't actually know. Point being, the team that's done the best in Europe, and as far as I know, the only team that are still in Europe is Piast-Gliwice. They are still playing in the Europa Conference League at the moment and may end up getting relegated in the process of doing so, which sucks for them. I can say names and whatnot. So, Cracovia, to be fair, they got destroyed in this universe too. This is their first season in the top flight. Sorry, first season back in the top flight. They came second in the first season of this save, got relegated in the second season of this save, won the second tier in the third season of this save, and now potentially could win the top flight in the fourth season of this save. They are quite literally the definition of boom or bust. They do nothing in between. There is nothing on the fence about Cracovia whatsoever. And we get a derby to decide the title potentially. Yeah, they've got some quality players. They've got Diarra, they've got Saba, we've got Katala! He must be offside, surely. He has to be. It's a great pass from Luis Eduardo, but I'm pretty certain Katala is offside there. Like, considerably offside, yeah. Wait. Oh my god, it's in! How is he onside? Oh, it's the deeper run. I didn't realise he was the one what a goal. I thought he was the one on the last man there. He made a deep run off the shoulder of the last defender. Bang, 1-0 Wisła. Come on! I thought that was our midfielder. I think it was our CM that was the guy actually stood on the last man that kind of distracted him enough to allow that to happen. Oh shit. Instant equalizer? Oh. He came from downtown. Great pass from our centre-back too. I think what you're seeing there is the fruits of the slightly more expressive play, allowing them to make passes like that more frequently, particularly as Eduardo is the ball-playing centre-back of the two. I'm still tempted to move both of them over next season to ball-playing, because I think that we've got enough quality in our backline now. I think we can probably get away with both of them being allowed to do a bit more passing. What was that first half? I mean, we're winning, so I'm not complaining, but my God. We're in a good position here because we're winning, we've got the ball. It's up to them to do something here. Stoyer's had a 6.9 in a game he's not scored or assisted in. Oh, Anna, if that little tweak idea for the... oh, actually, out of interest, I've been playing it with the more direct passing on my Plymouth version, and I'd say it's actually probably slightly worse, but that might just be because the rest of the tactic is different. As in, they're winning loads, but that role is still a little bit... and it might also be because I'm playing Caleb Watts in that position. Caleb Watts and James Patterson are the two that I'm rotating... Or Jamie Patterson. James Patterson's the author, Matt. Interesting things to the table. Yeah, there's so many cool... There's just so much to say about Poland right now in real life and in this save, and I love the comparison between the two. Walking backwards animation. Oh, that's another one to tell. I don't understand why there's so many tells in the game. It seems odd to me. I guess it's that the game is loading a celebration or a commiseration animation or something in the background, that it loads it beforehand. We're top of the league right now, crucially. And that's fine. Particularly as I'd say, if we win this and Corona don't win their game in hand, it kind of cuts the title into a 3-horse race, which gives us less people to worry about. But again, this is Poland, so who knows. Also, another fun fact. Only the top 6 in our league have a positive goal difference. Every other team in Poland, the other 12, all have negative goal differences. And none of the top 6 have a goal difference below 10. It's very, very strange. I was making the league tables for this yesterday, and I noticed that it was such a huge haves and have-nots type situation, ironically, that Lech Poznan are not part of, even though their form has been very good. That makes sense because you're just launching those transitional passes over the top, right? Highlight last night, we had that. We had a goal notification pop up before the highlight had even loaded. No, we had a replay of a goal once, didn't we? Where we saw the replay of the goal before the actual highlight for the goal. That was fun. I think that was in the first season of this save, actually. On a specific role. Basically, you don't. That's the neat part. The only way to really stop that is to not promise to play them in a certain role. The only downside there is, of course, if you try to put that in the contract, they will demand stupid amounts of money in order for you to do that. I've had my fair share of run-ins. My favourite one was on the MTK save, where I was playing a player as a wing-back instead of as a wing-back. I.e., I was playing him in the role of a wing-back in the position of a wing-back. They wanted him to play as a wing-back in the position of a full-back. Now, how they'd be able to tell the difference, I don't know, but that was their complaint. And that was Jurgen Klopp, so I've hated him ever since. Katala with a chance to potentially kill it. Yes! Shocking defending from Krakovia. The city is surely heading our direction. Oh, I mean, that's really Saba's fault. He smashed it straight into, I don't know whose face that was. Was it Stoya? And Katala's pouncer, his first touch there is absolutely exceptional. Oh, maybe I'm stuck in the mindset of 24 where that was a really bad thing, and I've carried a lot of habits and stuff into 26 that maybe I need to rethink a little bit. I've been slowly doing it each time, but that might be a new one I need to have a look at. No teams and countries that speak to you. I mean, have you considered Poland? I know it's easy to say that, but if you're doing building a nation, my big 3 will always be Poland, Hungary, Ireland, depending on what level you want to start at, unless you maybe really want a bit more of an easy time than perhaps Austria. Although I've never managed in Austria, though. Furman, maybe his tiredness wasn't quite there. It's okay, because Kukanda exists. Although, lately, he's not been amazing. A rare off day from Obradovic. If only we had Nigel at our disposal. Decent options here as well, actually. It's 2-0, so I want to keep an eye on this. I'm actually going to get Duda on as the number 10, because of his versatility. And Naeem's been okay. Krzyzanowski's been kind of poor, but we've got Damisiewicz. That'll do. Nice. For the smooth roads. What's the new rules in Hungary like then? Stoya? Nah, he'd play through it. He's a hard man. He'll injure other people. That's the Stoya method. You injure the other players, then laugh about it. That's what he's done historically. He's already had that one straight red card this season for absolute murder. And then in his first game back after that, a guy got injured while he was next to them. He picked the ball up, played it through, and we ended up scoring off of it. It was brilliant. Kukanda, taking men on. Oh, imagine if we embarrass them here. Be good for the head-to-head. I mean, Audi! Oh, the little scoop turns. I love them so much. Hello, Liberal Rabbit. Same point in the season. Oh, I like how all of you, despite being so early in this save, have different nemesis to I. Like, those of you that are playing the Wisła save along with me, what's Cracovia doing in yours? I can't imagine they've been as batshit as they have in mine. Although, maybe you've got a different team that's doing the exact same nonsense, I suppose. Here we go, Nigel. Lovely build-up. It's Hjertedal. And it should have been 3. It really should have been. New and very strict rule limiting the use of foreign players. From now on, teams are required to field at least 5 Hungarian players every match, with at least one of them being under the age of 21. Ooh, that is pretty strict. But yes, that is very... I mean, I think that... outside of building a nation saves, I genuinely think that rules like that, perhaps not as strict as that, are probably better for developing players in those countries. Ah, Naeem's hurt himself. I didn't make all 5 subs, did I? No, thank Christ for that. I'm going to trust Kaminsky. I really could put Inkotari on the bench, actually. It's sort of... I think it will improve those leagues. It's not fun for game, but in terms of actually helping those leagues, I think it probably will. Just anything that gives them more game time. It's like, I was thinking this the other day when looking into like Elite League ice hockey stuff and thinking, I don't know if they have any rules in the Elite League about like foreign players and stuff, but I do wonder if maybe they could do with a couple, just to sort of try to bring through some British and UK talent in those. I know it would obviously make them teams worse, which is obviously not easy, but it would be, oh shit. Oh, because obviously they're largely dominated by Americans and Canadians. Nation Wales. Honestly, Alice has put me off of doing that forever, pretty much, just because of the amount of trouble that she had with the game in that save. Oh, we're about to win. Come on. That is enormous. Very fortunate at the end. Sané's probably bailed us out a little bit there. Truly an enormous win in the title race. That puts us in the driving seat now. We just need to be as good as them for the rest of the season, and we're champions. We don't have to like come... Well, we probably will have to come from behind because we'll probably lose our next game. It's what we do. Though our form has generally ticked in the right direction lately. Only 2 Nemesis. Ooh. I love that you still remember this, like 25 years later now. 6 years in a row. You won every one. That's kind of good. That's a one-sided Nemesisness. I imagine they probably hate you more than you hate them. Oh, yeah. Having a season where you only lose 1 game, I would hold a special place because it's usually a shit team as well. The team that beats you is usually someone, not quite relegation candidate, but a team that is just above that. That seems to be the team you always lose to in those kind of seasons. It was always the case with the previous saves where we'd always try and do an invincible year, and I still have never done it. And I doubt this year will be any different because 34-game season, it's quite a lot of games for us to somehow get through. Oh. The city is ours, the title is potentially ours. It'd be funny if after all this, neither of us win it and Jagiellonia just take the whole lot. Yeah, it's the very... In Poland, for example, if we were on an unbeaten run, we'd 100% lose to Pogon. It's just written in the stars. In fact, out of interest, would you believe it? We have lost at home to Pogon this season. In fact, we haven't lost that many games at home at all this year, have we? 2. 2 Pogon on Korona Kielce. Korona Kielce makes more sense. They're a better side. Pogon are not. That could not have picked a better time. Our home record is actually kind of stellar. Actually, no, it's not. Sorry, I take that back entirely. We've been a little bit mid at home. Too many draws, really. But effigies, I would do, yeah. Well, I wouldn't. I would never burn an effigy. It's just, I don't have the time or the effigy for it. Ah, the roster regulations. Maximum number of players on a team are registered 25. Homegrown players. I love that there's a maximum. Oh, non-homegrown. 20 is still quite a lot. So essentially it guarantees 5 homegrown. Oh, in one season, I see. So you can have 18 at one time and then you can switch players out. I see. So it actually allows for 7 then. It's not too bad. I guess probably I'm guessing some of them probably find ways around it by having players that essentially count as homegrown but are in all, for all intents and purposes, still kind of not. But that's not too bad. I just really want Team GB to be just that slight little bit better. Basically, I just want Team GB's ice hockey and that to get to the level where they're actually able to be in the Olympics. And we've done some decent stuff recently. Like we got into the top division for the IAHF tournament once, got absolutely battered. But we're just on the outskirts of that. And I feel like with the right infrastructure changes and the interest is climbing so much, it's on the cusp of breaking out here. And I just think that's so sick. Someone who, regardless of nationality or age, has been registered with a club affiliated. Total of 2 seasons. Okay, so they still have to be here from quite young then. We are the Norwich of international. Yeah, we really are. Or the Coventry City, perhaps. No, because Coventry... Yeah, Norwich is a better example, actually, I'd say. Mexico Monterrey time. Yes, it's Next Gen Day, friends. We celebrate that win with a Next Gen Day and a bruised thigh for Anwar and that's not too bad, actually. Particularly as our schedule is... I think it's just 1 game a week now. Oh, no, we've got a midweek game against Lech Poznan. I call them Neck Poznan, then. That's where Classy Neck plays. All of our games are on the weekends after that, though, other than obviously the final. France PSG. I have a theory that Katala might get on it. What was it last year? Because I actually nailed it last year, didn't I? And I can't remember who I said. But... Yeah, I'm going to go Bayern Germany. Bayern seem to be doing some bits. But that's fair. How many players do you reckon we've got on it? Because I reckon we do have players on it this year. Not only that, I reckon there's going to be at least one player from another Polish side that is not affiliated with us in any way. 2 players for us. I reckon Katala's on there. I reckon Naeem, maybe? Polish club number 1. That's brave. I love that I'm saying this when we're not even actually on the actual news article yet. Also, Katala is now on 17 goals this season. He's getting there. Finally. He was shit in Europe, though, I must say. But that was the before time. He's not really cooked. I say shit in Europe. He was shit in the 2 Champions League games. That's a bit harsh on him, actually. He's doing good. Right, okay. The keeper. Yeah, Sané probably will be on there, won't he? Oh, my lord. Board delighted? I would hope so, but what is the club vision progress exactly that the board are delighted with? Spend the original transfer budget? Wait, that can't be the one, right? I'm not sure what's likely changed on that, although it does seem to be the case. I have spent a little bit of money. Katala's 20. Ah, shit. But when does he count as being, or is it just anyone who's over the age of 19 cannot be considered no matter how long they've been that age? So if he turned 20 yesterday, he would still not be eligible. Right, okay. What have I suddenly changed on here? I'm genuinely trying to figure out what's changed. Why are they suddenly happy with an objective when, as far as I can tell, we've not changed anything? Who's that contract? I'm willing to let these both happen. Van den Bosch has been a great servant to us. I'm going to swing back to the next gen in a minute, don't worry. But he's 33 years old now. He can't run. He's on $4,500 a week. He definitely needs to pass on. And Karamov, I like him, but his potential has obviously dropped off quite a lot, presumably because he wasn't as good as we thought initially. Or he was as good as we thought originally, but we've just signed players who have overtaken him. So if I set these for release, they can get contracts. It'll be nice. Staff contracts, that's fine. Youth players, nobody there is worth a thing at all, which is unfortunate for them. Now, 2 negatives. Good question, actually. Disappointed with the finances and the deal to sell Irvin Omic. I sold him, poisoned him. Yeah, I'm going to go full fucking Macbeth on him. Enjoy Uzbekistan. It's Macbekistan, actually. Thank you. And the board are disappointed with the team's performance in the Super... Oh, we lost the Super Cup final. A difficult draw. Andrew's going to haunt me all year for that. So one of the things they don't like is we did lose the Super Cup final 4-1. Very disappointed in the signing of Salvador Pilo. Ah, they're not a fan of the Pillow either. Don't know why specifically him. That's an odd one. What else do they not like? Disappointed with the signing of Edgardo Hernandez. These guys barely cost us anything. It's odd that they're caring about... Disappointed with the signing of Philip Seevold. I mean, they are clutching at straws, my friends. Is there any other issues they've got out of interest? Unhappy with far too many goals have been conceded. Okay. Right. Hold that thought, chat. The only complaint they have is too many goals conceded. Okay. Let's see where we rank in the league on goals conceded. Second best. They're like, why are you not top? Why are you not got the best defence in the league? You've only got the second best defence in the league. How dare we? The irony, of course, being that we've overperformed our expected goals against by nearly 10 still. Mental. Right. Okay. That's true. Why are you conceding goals? Like, what are you doing? Scrub. To be fair, maybe they're watching my Plymouth save in the background. Like, see, look, that guy can do it. Matt SYC is a better manager than Vida Xenia. That's what we've heard today. Right, okay, next gen list, go on. I forgot that it looks like this. Oh, by the way, I've updated the mod on Saz's thing, so now we can look at season previews and stuff, because there was a slight issue with that, so that's all now sorted. So my game is, in theory, as workable as anybody else's, which is probably why I had those crashes. So it's a guy from Cadiz. He's got to be on loan, right? He has to... Oh, a guy from Cercle Bruges. Hello, there might actually be some players we can have a proper look at here. As if Anthony Bessie's on there. Spanish Cadiz. He must be on loan, right? That's the club map. Oh, at least it takes you back to here now. Oh my god. Oh, wow. One, is not on loan. 2, is worth a fortune. 3, came through the Cadiz Academy. Oh, that's fun. I don't think I've ever seen a player from Cadiz be, like, goated. Have they got an especially good youth recruitment at Cadiz? He is fickle. He already has continental reputation at the age of 19. I mean, to be fair, he does look absolutely exceptional. His physicals are ridiculous for 19 years old. What a player. Please tell me it takes me back. Yes, it does. That's such a nice little thing. It actually remembers to take us back to this. Okay, there's a guy called Bart. Bart Thirion. If he doesn't sound like a fantasy character, I don't know who does. You can imagine him with a sword fighting off a dragon or something. It's Bart Thirion. Huge player. 2 clubs. Now, it's probably because he's played for the Futures, right? Yeah. Okay. He's fantastic. Bart Thirion of, I guess, of Langdelect. No, I can't. There's nothing there. It has good youth recruitment. Interesting. But it should still be quite far down in terms of Spanish, though, right? Because of so many... I'm just curious to see where they rank in Spain. Right. Dies in the second episode. Yeah, 100%. He gets executed with Ned Stark. Okay. Hamza Abdallah. Worth a fortune again. I think we looked at him last year. No, we can't. I would have recognised Circle Bruges being in there. Bessie being higher, particularly as bro has not played. Kevin Nisbet should be on there for that alone, right? Son Etienne guy. Muhadin Luyima. Moderate calf strain. He's gone forever. A lot of very expensive guys at the very start, but that's okay, right? Khan guy. Wait, there was a Khan guy? Oh, maybe. I don't know. Bubble. Mum, that is incredibly kind of you. Thank you very much for the 5 gifted subs. You really don't have to do that, though. I promise. Was that 5 or was that 6? Why does it say 6? Oh, no, it's 5. Thank you, though. That is immensely, immensely nice of you. Shout out to your mums. You love to see it, chat. This is what I was saying the other day about my parents have always been incredibly supportive of the weird career choices I've made. And I suppose, right, it's slightly easier to be supportive when that is working out, TM. And a lot harder when it isn't, right? But nevertheless, they've always been incredibly supportive. So shout out mum and dad. Love you both. Cracking. Cracking! And speaking of cracking, it's another Spanish man, Marino Cabello. At least he's not a stripper yet. I mean, in a way, I am. I'm asset stripping South American football teams. That's what I do. Co-player! Thank you very much for the 11 months. That's super nice of you. Hope you're having a wonderful Thursday morning. Hello, Viva.
Eating there.
At least you aren't doing drugs. Well, not that kind anyway. Well, actually, in a way, kind of that kind. He's, yeah, he's absurd. I mean, he's just... What I would say is, though, I think we've been able to find some guys for like under £500,000 that have... are not this guy's level by any means. But they are so financially beneficial to us that it makes up for not having players like him. Because obviously these guys are well out of our price range. Oh, I do want to scout him anyway, just to see what he looks like more than anything else. Because he, for me, might be one of the best. This is a real guy. Jeremy Monga. Good Lord. Yeah, I mean, 20 games in the Prem for Leicester. And he even got some Premier League games in then when he was, what, 17? He's quite highly rated in real life, if I recall, though, right? Didn't he try to move clubs? I swear I heard some rumours about him leaving. This guy's got a great name, and I'm hoping it isn't... I don't think he's fully French. I reckon he's got another nationality in here. Oh, no. Well, he might do, to be fair. Stéphane Montparnasse. Wanted by PSG. Yeah, I can see why. I can very much see why. There's definitely a second natty in here, isn't there? No? Wow. His surname, it was giving me... You're right, he's quite cheap. Certainly worth a scout. Sorry, I'm so used to seeing the other guys really... Can we buy him? We can certainly scout him. We're not in a window, so there's no reason for us to rush on him just yet, because they're not going to bid on him anyway. And we've got loads of space in our scouting list at the moment, so we'll get a report on him pretty much immediately, because there's basically no one in the backlog. I've deliberately cleared it all out so that we can do team reports next stream. Can't we buy him? Good work. You're right, let's probably ask the agent first, just in case he does something stupid. The wages are obscene, but they're also not so obscene. And if we were to lose Koziemka, having a rotation of Montparnasse and Stoyer, particularly as I feel like I could get him down, especially as he's fully French, not having to worry about something else. It will depend on where he actually sits on these, of course. And we don't need to priority scout him. He's literally already going to be that because, like I said, I've cleared it all out. As far as I know, we have basically no one on the list already. 22 players on this list. Like, there's basically no one. I would do it anyway, but we'd have got a report on him within a week anyway, because we've got so few players actually on this list as a result of me cleaning it. Hoffman as well, yeah. So I watched no NASCAR racing this week. Well, because of the weather. Actually, I was watching some videos this morning about this, Andrew. Not about the weather, just about predictions for the upcoming season and stuff, because I love that kind of preseason prediction. I'm so excited for motorsport in general this year. Like, with the new F1 rules and all that jazz, super excited about that. Save the game first. Probably not a bad idea, actually, yeah. And obviously, with all the changes in NASCAR this year, I'm excited, man. It's going to be dope. Particularly, I was going to ask you, Andrew, and actually anyone else that follows NASCAR as well, any hot takes on random predictions for this year? Because for me, I think Chase Briscoe is going to be the best JGR driver this year. And I think Carson Hoceval makes the playoffs. Maybe that's not that bold, but I think he does. Not the playoffs, sorry, the chase. Right, this guy we looked at last year, I'm certain of it, because he's actually, as far as I remember, straight up German. He doesn't, oh no, he does have a second nationality of Vietnam. Vietnam? Either way, Nguyen Van Than, solid player. He might declare for Vietnam, actually. I don't know if he's going to get into the... yeah, he said it before. I'm coming around to your viewpoint on that. I hope he does, though. Yeah, Williams have a car. I'm just excited with F1, with new teams and a decent amount of driver changes too, which is always nice. Right, Shea Porter at Real Madrid. Unknown? Wow, we just know so little. It's weird that we know that little about a Real Madrid player. Oh, he came through at Real Madrid as well. Solswami, yeah. Yeah, Cabello was the insane Leganés defender. The one we're actually getting a scout report on him. Not because we can sign him, but because of our shit. I'll just quickly show you again the state of some of those tent poles. We're scouting him just because out of morbid curiosity. Anthony Bessie. I don't know how he's ended up on this list, given that he didn't play a single game for us or Arsenal. And we'll regret that sale a little bit, perhaps. I don't know. In addition, I think I'm going to try to limit the number of times that we make sales like that in the early stage of the game, because it does feel a little overpowered for my liking. I've noticing it, like when it happened once last year, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, but it happened like 3 times this year, which is why I was more reticent to sell that other guy on the last stream, even though there was really no reason why I wouldn't sell him compared to the other guys. But I thought, this could start to give us a slightly overpowered financial situation. And I was like, do I really want that? Oh, is it doing that weird thing again? There we go. Second page. Hey, another real dude. Love to see it. Loads of merch, exactly. Well, you don't need a car if you've got merch. Plus, use the merch, pay for the car. They do actually, Gordo, yes. Except the Vixen is just Carl Edwards in a wig. Yeah. The Beast is just Tony Stewart in his entirely normal state. Okay. Actoros Actor. Well, that's Asteros Tripolis, right? But that must be their lower team, perhaps? Says Alexander Carrera. He just looks like a real footballer. Obradovic made it. Shout out Obradovic. Big man. Oh, right. I forgot that's the issue, wasn't it? Where it doesn't remember where you were on the list. You're a real player, so we're not super bothered. Felix Dreichel. Oh, it resetting itself is a fucking pain, man. Did that say Matt Card? Hang on a minute. Wait a sec. I swear I saw Matt Card in there. No, I think I'm being completely... I think I'm imagining things. There's a dude at Corinthians just called Andrew. Is this you? Hello, Mushroom Man. We are still winning. In fact, we beat Cracovia away from home. I did. I'm in there. Hey, I'm in there. As if I'm in there. Right, we'll definitely be having a look at him then. Oh my, I've never been good in one of these. I'm always garbage. I ended up at Sheffield Wednesday, no offense, in the last one of these, having been like relegated down, and they released me as well. I guess a blind squirrel. How's it going, Pogler? How's your day? How are you feeling any better, my love? But first, Andrew. You can blame Hadrian. He's rigged it for me. Andrew's full name is Andrew Da Silva. Great. Just great. Oh my God, this is so hard to navigate. How do you... Which one do you have to click on? Do you have to click on one and then back off of it? Right, okay, now I'm getting it. Andrew. Then another guy from Caen. He's a bit more expensive. Yeah, I do feel for Sheffield Wednesday fans, very specifically. The way the club have handled things and the way they've behaved. And now aren't they trying to get rid of Barry Bannon as well? So yeah, you click onto it and then click off of it. I see. It's a bit like the in and out of possession thing. Sat at the office at the moment. Oh, Pog. It's okay, my lover. It's just a bit of a shit day in general, isn't it? He's already gone. Ah, right. Last thing they needed. Hello, player at... He's gone to Millwall. If they'll pay him. Is that at Millwall with Joe Bryant? Oh, he's on loan. Shout out to Górnik Zabrze for getting a player on loan from Torino in the second tier of Poland. They've got a guy worth 10 million quid playing it. They better be doing well. Okay, fair enough. You're off the hook. For the moment. Then we've got this guy, Muammar Yassin Deverett. Holy expensive Batman. That works as well. Imagine Millwall finally get promoted to the Premier League, and then we miss out on a Millwall-West Ham Premier League game because West Ham get relegated. I mean, that seems very likely at this rate. Premier League being like, thank God. Police being like, thank God. Okay. Yeah, he's not a Batman petrol sport, quite crucially. There's obviously our boy, Dusan Obradovic. Yes. Just look at him. Look at his beauty. He has scored some banging goals for us this season as well. Him and Big Jens are just next level good. They've revolutionised this team, basically. Hello, Obo. So I'm watching us through. Pog would never do something like that. I'm boring. Right, Vladimir Ilic. Plays for Asteras. That is the same one, right? This sounds like the Back to the Future soundtrack. Huge fan. Vladimir Ilic. Sports Honey. I mean, he's certainly worth a scout. He's on here for a reason, presumably. So he could be one of those players that's on here because he's actually getting loads of football. That could be a factor here too, because he clearly is getting loads. Obviously, we looked at Bessie. Right. Oh, that's the first page. My bad. Oh, it's a guy at Monza. Federico Concas. He's worth an absolute buttload. Too many of that haircut going around. Although maybe that's just that I'm an old man and it's just quite common in real life. Denis Cal, another Turkey tax dude. A little bit cheaper, admittedly. It's always good when you find like a 17-year-old on this list, because in order to get on this list, you really do have to go quite... Hello, Japanese man. Jun Inagaki. 100% worth a scout, particularly as he actually can play that role as well. Nice. I guess we didn't notice... Whoa, how many goals has he got? 14 and 45 is actually not bad for a number 10. Oh, is it a sponsor? Right. Fair enough. That makes more sense. Guy at Greuterfurt. Stefan Jakšić. Why are they always injured? Hip injury. Bayern Munich are interested. It's a right-sided winger, which is a bit of a pain. In fact, I think we've looked at him before. Yeah, he's pointless to us. But also injured. Yeah, we know about him already, which means he must have been on it last year, and also he's utterly pointless to us because he plays in a position we don't use. Oh, you've got a fun nationality, I bet. Nope, Portugal. Okay, I bet there's a second nationality in there, and there is. It's Guinea-Bissau. I'll give him a scout, but Benfica is likely to be out of our price range, I'd say. What about you? Now this guy, on the other hand, Kostas Kaplanis. These are my guys. These are our bread and butter signings, man. Star player was a DM loan to Brentford. They recorded him and instantly sold him bills for 1.3 million. If it makes you feel any better, I lost our star goalkeeper that I was building the team around for 2.9 million to Bayern. Yeah. Tackling good. Marking doesn't matter if it's bad, because we can train that. 6'2", jumping reaches all over the place. Plays for Zlin. Likely to be crazy, not cheap, but not expensive either. Interesting hairstyle that he's rocking. Okay. I'm a fan of that. That's the kind of player I like. He's a real dude. Oh no, he'll be America tax, won't he? Hugo Venegas, and I think we've looked at him before. No, maybe not actually. Either way, there's always a couple of MLS guys in there. Another dude from Japan. Hello, Hazard. I'm doing fantastic, my friend. Vanderboy, yeah. Actually, you're not wrong. It would depend on what his more technical attributes are like, because obviously our DM guy that drops back needs to be good defensively, but he also needs to be reasonably good on the ball to link up the play nicely, so I didn't really see what his attributes were like there. Nobuhiro Kunishi, no almost nothing about him other than he plays loads, which is... ain't nothing wrong with that. Those guys are bread and butter as well. Wait. Really? I mean, don't get me wrong. I think he's quite good. But I don't think he's next-gen level good. As we can see from the fact that we have him scouted because he plays for us. He was a freebie from Vigo. Like, he's actually okay. I wouldn't trust him to play DM. Sorry, to be the DM centre-back guy. Maybe the CM role. Facing the game is a thing this year, yes. Yeah, that's a really bizarre one that he's even made that list. Is he the first one of our players that's actually on the list? And it's a guy that doesn't play for us. Playing time. I guess he's getting B team playing time. Rafael Zinho. Ooh. Actually, he probably is worth a little look. This worries me a lot. But Brazilian players are always fun there. Oh, Luna, mate, it's so fucking good. like, I didn't actually watch the games live last night because I genuinely forgot, but I was watching all of the highlights this morning and having the best fucking time. That Benfica game, because I saw it and I saw the score at 4-2, and I saw another clip that was like to do with the goalkeeper. I was like, well, hang on, which goal did he bloody well score? Adding to my confusion was him going up for a corner when they're already 3-2 up, and then I didn't realise at the time that that's why they were doing it. And isn't the thing that the only reason they knew that they needed that extra goal is because their game had gone on longer due to too much, or not too much, but more first half stoppage time being added than normal. So they were kind of staggered later, which meant that they had more information and were able to actually make those decisions. Incredible. Also, the absolute head loss from Real Madrid is incredibly fun to watch. I don't think, like, I've never been a huge fan of Real Madrid, but I do not think there is a team I dislike more in world football than Real Madrid. They, at least in the past, had some sort of likeable characters around that team. But they are just an immensely unlikable group of individuals these days. Like, from the top to the bottom of that club, it's rotten, isn't it? Like, they are just losing everything that would even, not genuinely, not even Brentford. Like, Brentford, I have a rival, like the Fulham rivalry with Brentford is totally different, but I can at least respect them as a football club and the way that they are run and the players they sign and some of their players, right? I don't even care for, I'm not as anti-United as a lot of people are. Like, I know that they were dominant when I grew up watching football, but I almost feel sorry for them a little bit at this point. And it's mad. Oh, hang on. Doors bell's just gone. Chat, one sec. This is going to seem like a scripted bit, but I promise you it's not. Your boy's just had a holy delivery from the postman, no less. And I may as well open it right now because there's bound to be some fancy, lovely stuff. Exclamation mark holy, if you would. I'm going to need scissors. No, don't do that. Do it with your hands. Do it like a man, i.e. appallingly. We're now going to play a game called Matt Struggles to Open a Box. What a skit, I know. Canned laughter popping off. I actually do need a knife. Or do I do that thing you do where you just get a sharp object like a screw? Nope, I'm going to do it properly. Just going to do it under the desk, thus to avoid any potential TOS risk of just brandishing a knife on stream. Right. Oh, fuck. God's sake, man. This is not a knife skills test, chat, don't worry. Because I don't have any. Instead of teeth. I mean, a knife is just teeth. Again, this is one of these ones where I realised that the visual isn't amazing. Why am I struggling to use a knife? Oh my god. Well, I'll tell you what, chat. This is what we can ascertain from this. That the packaging is incredibly robust. This packing label has actually completely cooked me at this point. There we go. Success. Hides the knife. So. Oh my god, another one. Oh, that's cool. That is very sick. It's a protein shaker, but it's got lovebirds on it. So basically, they've got a Valentine's collection. Oh, what's this? Ha! That's so sick. Mason Cooper, thank you very much for the 34 months, my friend. That is super nice. You Pog's gonna love this.
Hello, Matto. Hello, Chatto. Only good news today. I work in a new store, so no more games from XGF.
Fuck
and
yes.
I'm going to be an uncle in July.
Even better.
Sorry to interrupt unboxing.
Ah, screw what I was saying. That's really, really cute. Speaking of cute, it's called Lollipop Lovebird. It's one of the energy ones. Now, ironically, I was planning to have an energy one today anyway. So I'll just have some of this instead. We'll try it out live. This is so sick. Forgive me, chat. Also, I know a lot of you bought some more the last couple of days, so I'm very, very grateful for that. Thank you very much. It's very kind. Thank you for supporting me and this kind of cool company that really has supported me a lot. Oh my god. Lollipop dust is everywhere. Oh wow, that smells amazing. That smells incredible. I'm going to just stick it in my current one because I've literally got... He is, yes. I knew that because he came to me about it before he agreed to the deal. And I was like, no, honestly, they're great. Right. Let's whack some of this in the old shaky waker. So you just don't get this kind of experience. Bit of shaker ASMR. I could give you a bit of sloshing. That sounds terrible. Okay. This smells amazing. I don't even know how to describe this flavour. Other than that it smells amazing. I'm going to put that there for the time being. So it's visible. He says, putting it in the one place where it's not visible. There we go. Pride of place. That's more like it. Right, let's get this shaken up. I don't know, JM. All I know is that I find it incredibly delicious. It's like no added sugar. It's delicious. Make sure you keep it above the keep it above the old the waist there. Don't need any more gifts happening. Get them in chat. Why not? It's holy time. Fuck it. No, that doesn't. What am I doing? They're also the exact kind of company that is totally fine with me promoting them in that manner. And that's, if anything, if that doesn't tell you how they are as a company, then I don't know what else does, really. If they've been more than okay with that level of promotion, woo, no. But yeah, they get a holy for sponsoring the streams, and you can get yours, !holy. If you use code SYC will get you 10% off anything, or it's 5%. And then SYC5 will get you £5 off, depending if you're doing a smaller order. That one might be more beneficial for you, so you can get a larger discount. That's for the Kick audience. That reminds me, I really do need to look into multi-streaming again. Don't know how the YouTube audience would take to this. Holy chest tat! Yeah, I've actually got these lovebirds tattooed on my chest. Pog is going to love this. Legitimately. That's so goddamn cute. She was actually watching bird TikToks the other day and talking about how she's like, oh, I really want a bird. Because Pog is the kind of person that sees a cute animal and immediately goes, yes, I'll have that. I'm like, no, that's not how that works. Oh, dearie me. Same day as deadline. That's even worse when that happens. Fun thing with my goalkeeper where that happened. Because he came back on loan as part of the deal, he counted as a new player for the Champions League, or for Europe, and he was no longer allowed to be registered for Europe. Which is really, really fun and not at all annoying in any way. Oh, dearie me. Right. Okay, taste test time now. I've shaken it up enough. Let's go. As we look at Branko Monla. Strand Larsen's going. 45. I take it this is the Mateta replacement, right? That smells incredible. Oh. She might have texted me as well, actually. I'm not sure, actually. Basically, she had a rental car for the last couple of days because of work. Because she had to go to Birmingham for that course. And I think they're picking it up today, but we don't know when exactly. Oh. That's really nice. I'm trying to work out what flavour it actually... Oh, it's cherry lollipop flavour. Yeah, I can certainly... It's hard to explain. So it's cherry lollipop flavour. But it doesn't just taste like cherry. It tastes like cherry... It tastes like a cherry lollipop. It's hard to... I don't know how I can explain this. Yeah, my friend used to have lovebirds growing up. And they were very cute. Very loud, but very cute. Where will I be, Anarith? I mean, unemployed for a start, as we all know. Luis Lopez, where's the fun players gone? Show me the fun guys. Give me the mushroom farm. That's the first page again. Have I missed anyone? Is another guy? Oh, it's Atletico Madrid. Elian Anestiev. Bulgarian. Ah, damn it, they've signed him off. No, they haven't. There might see 3 clubs. Absolutely. Mushroom Man. Yeah. Like, they don't expect me to like every flavour because, for example, there's a few things I tend not to be... For example, I don't particularly like the flavour of coconut in general, and that doesn't change. But that being said, I have heard from people that do like coconut, that they really like the holy coconut flavour, but I'm just not a fan of coconut as a flavour in general, so I was never going to like that ever. But, like, the raspberry vanilla hibiscus tea is insanely good. The peach one is great for the iced tea. The kiwi and strawberry hydration is amazing. Did I skip ahead? Shit. It's really good and expensive as well, though. Right, let's go back. Yeah, I don't think I finished... Oh, no, I finished that page. That's Barca. He's another real player. He's at Bayern. Missed this guy. My apologies. Oh, yeah, if you don't like cherry, then you're obviously not going to like that. Delivering all of your... I believe so. Yes, they're a German company. So the reason you've been seeing more from them lately across social media is because they've been launching it out into the UK as a brand, which is why you may have seen them with some of your favourite YouTubers, particularly, as I believe that started first. A lot of channels that I really like, Cutsy for one, and also Top Dead Centre, of course, Up the Boys. I think they were the first YouTuber I actually ever saw with a holy deal, as it happens, and now on the Twitch side of things as well, with a few FM. They've got a few FM streamers, I believe. I know Clates is doing one. Big up Clates. London Eats, of course. I fucking love London Eats. That actually might be one of the first places I did see it, yeah. Right, it's me. I'm over the moon by it. It's me. Turn off animate UI in settings. Wait. Really? I swear I had that turned off. Guide me if you will, Cam. Is it just under audio and visual? It probably is on this screen. That's not me. That's literally not me. For a start, my name's Matt Card, not Matthew Cord. Chat, it's SecondYellowCard, right where my mouse is. Yeah, but I don't want to animate the menus. Surely, wasn't it? Didn't you say to turn off the animated menus, which are already off? So shouldn't that... Or is it turning them on that fixes it? I'll just leave that there for a minute until we get a proper answer on that. It's Matthew Cord. Chat, SecondYellowCard in the house. Sorry, SecondYellowCard. It's me. It's not me. Oh, God, I'm so excited. I did wonder why I was playing for bloody Dundee United, to be honest. Yeah, I'll leave that for the moment. Where was bro born? God damn it. Just get my face with a mustache in it. Ah, God. He's missing out on being a crazy average streamer. Where was he born? Dundee. Imagine. Might need to try on. Oh, I thought it was off that was... Sorry, forgive me. I thought you said off, not on. Let's have a little look. Is it menus I do? Okay, right. Regardless, let's try it. It might not work this time around anyway, but let's see. So we're back to here again. God damn it, man. I'm so annoyed by that. I got so excited. You see Mott, SecondYellowCard. That's me. It's the Temu version of me. Except he's much better than me, and therefore... Actually, wait. I'm the Temu version of me. Not the other way around. Hiroshi Ibata. No, Ibata. Oh, quite expensive for Japan. Model citizen. Of course he is. Bet he picks up after himself at every footballing event he goes to as well. Yeah, that doesn't seem to have done anything, but that's okay. We tried. I might switch it back off again. Goes to the funeral director. Oh, that sucks, Mushroom Man. I'm sorry that you have to do that, man. I would say enjoy the rest of your day, but have the best day that you can given the circumstances, I suppose is maybe the better way to describe it. I wish you well, my friend. All of it never does that. That's so weird. Oh, well. It is what it is. Benevento. Abdul Latif Manti. Yes, lads. We like a bit of that. Forgive me on the lookups. I will get to them in 1 second. I just wanted to get the next-gen stuff done in one block. Deportivo Cali. Jose Helmer Salgar. Now that's what I'm talking about. And he's only 18 as well. And he's a DMCM type of fella who can tackle and pass. It's the dream. He's very nice. I was hoping for more of him, really, but Bruno Souza as well. These are the guys. I feel like the guys you find from about 35th onwards can sometimes be the very best players you're actually looking for. This guy just called... Oh, we've looked at Jeff before, haven't we? And then Gabriel Corneliusson of Sogndal. Oh. Norway's been kind of chefing it up there. The Bodder energy is perpetuating throughout, it would seem. Right, let me just turn that off again. Or did I already do that? Yeah, I'll just turn it off, just out of interest to see if it... Maybe the thing I use for the mods don't work. I don't know, weird. Anyway, yes, transfer stream is going to be Sunday, which means recap video as well, which is going to be dope. Thankfully, I am much more prepared. Every time I do a recap, because they're a lot of work, as you can probably imagine, I'm streamlining my flow a little bit more and getting us slightly closer to being able to do it faster would still be good. So now, still get highlights of every single game, but now there's slightly more structured voiceover for them, which is going to be really, really fun because I would have already written the script for them. So Ragnarok, of course, is at Corona Kielce, where unfortunately it's not worked out super well. Wait, he's in their second team. Hello, Full Metal. Let's see what we got here. Hang on. Yes, and you call it the Champions League despite the fact the majority of teams are obviously not champions. Very true. Like, I mean, how many English teams did we get in the top 8? Was it all of them except for maybe New York? Newcastle. Or did Newcastle make it in? Malinsky Middleton photo shoot. I haven't. I did see that Malinsky signed a new contract, which made me happy. What I was less happy with was the performance last night. 5. That's pretty good. As long as they don't do a season like happened this year. Sorry, in the last save. Sorry, the last stream. Nope. The last season of this save. Christ on a bike, Matt. Where England had 7 teams or something left at the semi-final stage. No, that wasn't... You know what it was? It was ridiculous. So, until we get those first guys around, most of these, that's all Patreon regions. They're all older. You're the only player that's really... you're Polish. Oh, no, you're not, but you are playing for a Polish side. And you guys are a little older. He's probably the only one that's maybe worth a look. Actually, you could be worth a look. Marginal knowledge, though. So with those guys, I might just send them around again. Till we get more information on them. Hello, FM? Can I... Got them in the end? I probably could have just done select all, really. Would have been easier. And you... I think I will still shortlist you, because I'm interested in how they've done that, basically. Just Santa baby him for the time being. We're a protein powder. JM, no word of a lie. Every single morning, and this is, I promise you, true, I have my protein powder with a holy milkshake. Genuinely. I always have this strawberry protein powder, but it doesn't taste very much of strawberry, really. It's kind of, it's flavored, but not that much. So I basically just have it, I add a holy milkshake sachet on top of the protein powder, and it makes it so much nicer. The strawberry one is obviously great because it's strawberry and strawberry, but the banana and vanilla ones are also kind of goated. I'm not a huge fan of hazelnut, but that's because I do not like hazelnut at all. I've come to realise. I believe all the Polish teams should now be out of Europe. In fact, yes. Right, I did one lookup and then not the others. I'm stupid. Right. Simmer down, Matt. We got this. Is it the MyProtein one? I don't know. It's in a black, like, pot thing with a reddish label on it. I forget which company. It might be Optimum Nutrition. Yeah, Javi's one of those guys that we're definitely going to need to take a look at next season in the summer. It is. There you go. Oh, Pog. Check it out, Poggy. It's a holy protein shaker with lovebirds on it for their Valentine's stuff. Really wanted to show her that. Right, other lookup is for me, of all things. Yeah, how sick is that, Pog? There he is. Oh, he's at Fulham. I mean, to be fair, he's actually quite good, but he is also 22 and isn't really playing much for the cottages these days. Whopping bloke. Thank you for the 28 months, my friend. How is your day going? You want it? Well, you can have it. It's right here. She's going to give up the hibiscus one immediately. I'm quite glad that we've got more time today. Because we got through 12 games on the last stream. Today, thankfully, we only, I think, have 8 in total, and we'll be fine with that. We've got that last day of school vibe kind of going. Because Steve went again, yeah, honestly, Kima, I think he's never going to realistically play for us and might be a guy I'd look to move on in the summer if I can get a big enough deal for him. Because he's injury prone. I don't think I've ever had a player be so injury prone as him. Every time he gets in the team, he's gone again. Full Metal FM. Thank you so much for the prime, man. That's immensely nice of you. Really appreciate that. A couple of Patreon lookups too while we're here. Oh, AFC Pro League. Sorry. He gets distracted again, but such is life. That's the wrong Adam Cooper. I take it we're expecting Auckland and South Melbourne to kind of run away with it. I really want a cup win, Sabika, for sure. That's the wrong Adam Cooper. Because, one, we've not won it yet, for a start. But also, I believe it's also in a couple of players' contracts with regards to ambitions of the club. Now, I think they mean next year, but I'm pretty certain if you win the cup early, they still count that. Plus, we've just had the weirdest time in the cup. And I think if we beat Lech Poznan, we won't play a better team, I don't think, in the final. If we were to get there, I don't believe. So Adam Cooper at the moment, just the one game for Chelsea. But contract up in 6 months. So you very well likely will end up at a club in Poland very soon. Which is good, because it seems to work for the most part. Lewoko, thank you for the follow. And of course, Big Gus. Weren't you also at Chelsea? Or were you at Wrexham in another save? Oh, you're at Elche, of course you are. You were the one that was actually kind of doing bits. Yes. 12 more games for you this season, albeit slightly more off the bench. Not the performances aren't there. But you're actually getting into games for Elche. And that's more than can be said for some of the other lads. And lasses, to be fair. By the way, your attributes look fantastic. Just hasn't really worked out. 2 years left, yeah. Which means there must have been a contract extension in there. And you're only 21, so you are on the younger side of some of the Patreon regions, in fairness. God, I hope you've got some games this time. Vanja Mojsic, and no. Unfortunately not. I'll actually literally refund your points because I'm not going to be able to keep you on screen for very long because there's no point. Oh, dear. I beg that you just move. For Dizzy Rajnik. Hopefully, or is it Fred Irajnik? Either way, thank you very much for the follow. Dizzy Rajnik sounds like a Polish version of Dizzy Rascal, and I'm here for it. I'm just bonkers. Polonia Beaton, then in that case, we'll probably lose to them. Oh, you've asked to leave. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't know what squad status you're on, but you should be playing by now, basically. Malinsky Middleton photos. So, no joke. Pog and I, when we send out wedding invitations, eventually want to get like a JCPenney's or Macy's style photo shoot done to put on the invitations because I'm a huge fan of that type of photos. Just for us, for no other reason than because it's fun. Zambian on a free. Oh my god. From Zambia, no less. Gee, sorry, the more I look at him, the better he looks. He's freaking exceptional. Well played. Fair play. Yeah, I think you actually, Brady, you have one of the most sets of international caps. Player of the month for Furman, which is something I never thought I'd hear again, to be honest. He's dedicated it to me, which is lovely. Wins young player of the month too, because he's tiny. Tiny? He's of... His stature in age is low. Stream the wedding? Probably not. I'll let chat choose a delegate. They can send one person or something. If it's Inferno, he has to be under a desk still. Yeah, Zambia is a country that we've had some decent luck with in the past, but either... Maybe I'll have to prioritise a few more team reports from there in the summer. Because I've not seen many Zambian players come up on our team transfer in stuff, but it might just be luck and our scouting knowledge that's doing that, because I've noticed there's some countries that come up quite a lot. Shtuir is now worth a shitload. Him and Katala are kind of breaking out of it a little bit at the moment, which is just fantastic. Qualifications delayed. Weird. Anything else in here that we need to particularly get on? Lots of language stuff. Impressive stuff. Good. Oh, no. Oh, no, that was the Castillo injury, wasn't it? What is Castillo worth these days? It'd be weird to do this. I'm just going to ask Asian about market interest. No interest right now. Fair enough. Just going to have a look at an intermediary. Now, obviously, we're outside of a window, so this is likely to generate absolutely nothing. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Like, I think if someone is interested in him, I'd be willing to sell, but probably not for £1.5 million. At that point, you might as well just keep him. We don't need the cash. Very susceptible individual. Honestly, at that price and the player being that good, I wouldn't care. I don't like highly injury-prone players, ironically like Castillo here, but at a certain point, you almost have to try to take that risk sometimes. Particularly as, if nothing else, you'll probably make a profit on the deal, which should offset it a little bit. IRL streaming does sound like a lot of work. I generally don't know how people do it. I have a very controlled setup here, which is fantastic. Ooh, Rodriguez has no longer got 5-star PA. Interesting. I mean, I think he's great, but that might be the first crack in the veneer, so to speak. Natty caps. Yeah, well, to be fair, we didn't do natty caps last summer. Or did we? I don't think we did it as much as normal. And we didn't do Belgian amateurs either, which means Sunday is going to be fire, because we'll have had 2 years off of doing those, and it's probably going into this season 5, the last year of it being ridiculously effective, I would say, in this save. So we'll probably do mad transfers there. Plus, between now and then, after today's stream, I'm going to set up team reports as well. So we'll have those to go through as well. Let's be honest, probably quite a large budget in the summer. It's going to be a huge year. Right, let's just next match out Naeem for a minute. Get coffee in. And I guess that's pretty much fine, isn't it? I'm trying to get used to using next match only a bit more to try and keep a static starting 11 and then only remove players if I absolutely need to. The Ranji definitely needs to be back on the bench. Oh, wait, hang on. It's only a 9-man bench, isn't it? That's fine. We'll just go with that for the time being. They'll be back on the bench in the next game anyway. But this should be enough to get us through this match. Unless there's some weird rules that I'm not aware of. Yeah, everyone seems okay. Except for maybe Rodriguez. Yeah, maybe Abdullahi comes in. Just to at the very least get us some freshness in that position. 3 substitutes outside the match squad. It won't care. Down to 2 points. Jesus Christ. I guess it shows... is chat frozen? Oh no, I think the chat window for Stream Elements has been a little bit strange lately and has been It kind of stopped completely on stream on Tuesday for some reason. Right, we need to get through here because this is almost like the final for us in many ways because we will not play a better team than them in the final if we get there. Usable with a skin. Oh, that's sick. Mr. Teeny. Oh, you've been cooking. Also, hang on. I've only just realised that. I can't believe it's taken me this long. Is your like username and general social stuff from the monkey from The Simpsons? Or am I thinking of something else? Is that monkey from The Simpsons? I don't know why that's only just occurred to me, if that is the case. Because if so, that's awesome. Either way. Yeah, I can't believe your DM is actually that important to you, JM, because it's been one of the roles in our team that I've always found a little bit, not underrated, but they haven't really contributed as much as I would have liked, and we already lead through Stoya. Come on, it is, that's amazing. It's weird, like sometimes people's usernames reference very specific things, but they're like, not notoriety, but they supersede those things in very specific circumstances, right? It's like, sometimes a person in Twitch will have a name that's really obviously referencing a certain thing, but they've been in chat long enough that we just talk to them and just forget that that's what it relates to, basically. It's fantastic. There's literally, I'm trying to think of an example because there's several of them from chat. Like, for example, there's a chatter sometimes called See My Loafers Former Gophers, another Simpsons reference, but I always just forget that that's the case. Fix my DM, Anarith. Fix him real good. Murphy called? Was it Pog Murphy by any chance? Because I would never associate with people like her. No, can't be done. Oh dear. Yeah. Not ideal there. It's a reference to the Godfather movie. Is it? Is it actually? I'll have to see it. I'm trying to think now if there's any other chatters that have names exactly like that. Chat, put a message in chat just so I can see your Twitch name. Just so I want to see if there's any others. I'm like, oh yeah, that's one of them. A lot of YouTubers start out like that as well because they just have a username that they use. Like with me, it was a little bit different because I actually created one specifically for content creation, kind of. So it kind of had more to it. And there might be some that are references to things that I simply don't recognize. Like I always find it fascinating where people's names come from. So like actually, instead of just a generic chat message, where did your Twitch name come from? Like, what was it that made you go, that's what I'm going to be using? Now, some of them are relatively obvious because it's a play on words with your name or the football club you support, but some of them are just really eclectic and interesting to me, you know? It's your name. Is it? Is Paul 626 in your birth certificate? Crazy. Well, I never. Close to your name? No. Oh, hell no. Just because, like, this is not like a blow my own trumpet thing, but I've been in the FM space for 11 years now. Rebranding myself to change the name would be catastrophic for brand awareness, if that makes sense. It's just, and I also quite like my, like, it's a bit long, but it always gets abbreviated to SYC anyway, even in speech sometimes. It's actually weird. So yesterday I signed up for the Sweepers Patreon because I want the extra episodes and I want to support them now that they're going full time to do the podcast. And when I joined the Discord server, because obviously, welcomes you in there, a lot of people were just like, is that him? I'm just like, why do people here know who I am? That's the weirdest thing. I guess that actually the niche crossover between Strange FM stuff like we have and Sweeper is probably quite large, actually. And it was through chat that I actually found out about it in the first place. Someone tried to insult me. Warrington, are you both from Warrington by any chance? 10 of us in high school. Oh, was it kind of like the thing where the PE teacher would always just add, like, a Y on the end of your name as a nickname? Yeah, Lek need to win this, and they are not going to. We're 3-1 up in 13 minutes, by the way. My name is, in fact, not second yellow card. That's my father. I'm third yellow card, as it happens. Kermit the Prick. I remember, because your Patreon name, Kermraid, was Kermit the Prick for a while, wasn't it? I remember being like, whoa, when you first signed up. Hello, Terry. Less of a thing to my username and some initials. Yeah. So, thankfully, the name that I actually used to use as like an online username and stuff was a made-up word. So it was relatively okay. It's the kind of thing actually that would have been really good for branding had I not... Are we going to get another goal here? Go on, lads. One more. Make it 4 here. Oh, the builder. Oh! Harvey, West Ham United, probably. Thank you very much for the follow. What a goal from Big Jens. Cromulent indeed. Is it actually still called that? Does it show up in the end screen for the videos? What a strike from Big Jens. That might be better than Obradovich's goal. Gets it out of his feet. Oh, that was sensual. Get El Gordo, just someone told it means fat one. It's That's even better. Nicknames like that are fantastic. I love the fact that I'm actually sort of semi-jealous of people that have interesting nicknames, like genuine nicknames that have a funny backstory and everyone actually knows them by it and they didn't name themselves that. That's the crucial part. I was always just known by my surname because there were 11 guys called Matt in my year at school. And pretty much all of us, without exception, were known entirely by our surnames. Luckily, my surname was namey enough that it worked as a first name. Like, very few people know me as Matt outside of like friends I've made through content creation and immediate family. It's weird when my friends come into stream and actually refer to me as Matt. They've got better at doing it, but it's still weird to the point where sometimes it bleeds over into real life and I don't like it. 8, there you go. Yeah, like one of my best mates is called Matt. In fact, just one. It's 4. Come on, Marius. I've been best man at 2 different weddings for men called Matt. And at one of the weddings, his husband that he was marrying was also called Matt. It was a good year. It was a good year. Oh, was that 5? Sorry, the thing didn't update. This is a ridiculous game. Stoyer putting the medal on himself meme. Incredible. Class of 28. Okay, that beats me hands down. 100%. Some Matt's made in heaven. Oh, and the other Matt's maid of honor was called Nat. It's incredible. It's not actually Matthew Card. No, incredibly. I have a horrible alliterative name that is a pain in the ass to say and never sounded right. I say horrible name. I like my name, but it is extremely... For someone who struggles to say things sometimes and has a slight speech impediment due to the way I speak, my name alone trips me up quite a lot. It's Matthew Matthews. It's actually Montgomery Matthew Matthews. I was in the series of unfortunate events. Yeah, it was Matt, and Nat as the wedding group. Incredible. Vicar was having the best time. Matthew Mathers. Eminem's my dad. Oh, dear. Early subs. Honestly, great shout. Truly a brilliant shout. Well, 5-1 up. There's no way I could not do that right now. I'm just going to basically... I'll make 4 just in case. Anyone who's a little tired... Okay, maybe not. Maybe not him. Actually, to be fair, we're 5-1 up. What difference is that going to make, right? Nigel, of course. Probably Fermi. Oh, actually, no. I'm going to do Duru because I need that man to get me a goal. Neville. I love the double names like that. Also, Jinx, I missed your thing about your name. I really want to read that because that looked quite interesting because it looked obviously to do with Pokemon, right? Or was it not? Oh, I think you've actually told me this before and now Twitch won't let me scroll. Twitch? Fucking hell, man. Here we go. The special one on the Pez forum. Once I lost a blow of predictions for friends competition, they said got the jinxed one. Oh, wow. So it's not a Pokemon reference. Okay. We do sometimes get... I feel like Pokemon related names are more common just in general, even in areas where there's no real relation to Pokemon. Called Matt Mott. Okay, that's a... Your parents have got to take some responsibility for that, right? It sounds like a character from the B-Note. Just my email address. I had it when I was a teenager. Oh, so many of us have got those. My favourite Pokemon? Chansey. Unironically, Chansey is my favourite Pokemon. Don't know why. Always loved Chansey as a Pokemon. I guess I just related really heavily with a fat egg. I guess, like... Which, you know... Maximus Decimus Meridius. Is it? Is it, though? I'll tell you what. I'd have gone with something more interesting than Nanarith, then. Your name used to be something else, though, Danarith, didn't it, in chat? And I forget what it was. I swear back in the day, obviously I know you used to change your name for jokes, but I swear you had a different Twitch name originally, right back in the day. Because I know some people in chat have changed their names. So, for example, Questionable Penguin, who's in here sometimes, that's not always been his Twitch name either. And I can never remember what it actually was. Some people I still know by their old Twitch names, like Slash Thighs, for example. It will always just be in my head, those names. Who wants to come on? You don't, so you won't. Maybe Duda for Stoyer, because I love a bit of Casper Duda. Arifi, Alberto Arifi, what a day. No, there was another one, I swear. Obviously, feel no pressure to actually tell me, because there might be a reason why you changed it. Oh. So many Pauls. Weirdly, I've never had a friend called Paul. Which is odd when you think about how common in the UK, especially, the name Paul actually is. Particularly in the era that I grew up, at least. Oh, it's 6! What a cup game. I love that there's an absolute banger of a cup game. I say banger. It's a domination, but there's a lot of goals going on. And Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. This is where I've also massively forgotten about a friend I have called Paul, and he's there like, mate, what are you doing? Most of my friends have the most sort of bog standard British sounding names, much like I do. I've got Matt, Sammy, but it's Sam. But it's Sammy. It's one of those names that they try to make work. And to be fair, we have kind of cottoned onto it, in fairness, so that's our fault. A Dean, a Michael, a John. I've noticed how many of them have still got Y's on the end of their names, though. It's very much biblical sounding names, I guess. A Mike, a Tony, and I'm just listing people I know. I don't have that many close friends, is what I'm trying to say. Another Matt. A John. Yeah, he's actually Colombian, but the H is at the very beginning and the end of his name. Forgot you counted. That'll happen. Hello, Dyron. Furman willingly. So funny you say that, Darren. Actually, we were debating the Furman issue. We called it the Fermi paradox the other day, and then right as we were thinking about potentially maybe moving him on a loan, perhaps, I decided to take him out of the team for a little bit. Sorry, put him back in for a little bit to see what would happen, and he's been prolific ever since then. That was a bit harsh, but he's just pushed him over for no reason. 6-2 to get to the final of the Cup is pretty damn cooked, especially as I'm pretty certain that's 6 different goal scorers too, isn't it? Yep. We've had a lot of that. I beat Burton Albion 6-0 with Plymouth yesterday and had 6 different goal scorers there too. Don't count Brad Friedel as a friend. I mean, look, we had our run-in. Don't make me tell the story again. Oh, did he get 2? I did, didn't he? Screw that then. Plymouth are better. I'm really enjoying I know I've mentioned this a few times, but I'm actually genuinely really enjoying my Plymouth Argyle save. I've never played a save like that before in the way that I'm playing it. And I'm actually quite enjoying the hands-off experience of doing nothing except tactics and matches. Under 10 on the that is always the best. That's incredible. Can! Thank you very much for the 25 months. We were just talking about where people's Twitch names came from and fun nicknames we know about from friends of ours. You may have already knew that, in fairness, but it's weird, actually. When someone comes to chat and they, like, resub or something, but they haven't said anything yet, and they're like a regular chatter, I always assume that is them arriving on stream, even if they haven't. Bilbao. No, Plymouth Argyle. Basically, I'm doing a video. It's a longer-term video where I'm basically... The DOF is doing everything except managing the actual day-to-day of the team, so training and tactics. That's my job. But I've also appointed the worst DOF I could find to see how it would be to work under the most incompetent director of football imaginable. It's not going well in that sense of things. He sold a guy called Tegan Finn to Wolves for basically no money.
But glad to finally catch a stream live.
Thank you for the 28 months, my friend.
All well, Matto and Chatto.
I'm genuinely very well. It's been a bit of a weird week. Still just recovering from illness, which has been a bit of a strange one, but the last couple of streams especially have just been extremely fun in general, both from like results on the pitch, but the vibes in chat have been immense, frankly, lately. And that's to do with you lot. Dr. Sell wanted players. I think there is, Obo, but I don't know, actually. How do you like that? I guess so. I got a regen doff called Andrew Smith. He has literally the lowest rating for every single thing, especially in the ones that he actually uses. And he makes some god-awful decisions. Johnny Trot, thank you for the 42 months. Is it now sunny outside? It bloody is. So he signed a guy called Tiger Smalls from Charlotte FC on an absurd contract who joined us in January. And he also signed 2 strikers that I didn't even need while selling a guy who I did. It's infuriating, but it is a very fun way of playing the game. And I'm really enjoying it. So it's basically going to be like a 10-season video that tells the story of me dealing with my incompetent director of football whilst trying to make Plymouth Argyle into a decent team, but having no control over anything. So far, though, Season 1 is going very, very well. Top of League 1, had a 10-game run where we didn't concede a goal, which is fun. If you get sacked, that's it. I guess that's the story. I feel like a story can have a sad ending too. I'm just trying to get to the stage where I might be able to instant result a few games. So I'm actually playing every game at the moment. That's why it's taking a bit longer. But I don't know. I feel like that's where I want to take my content in 2026 is these longer driven story videos because they're just fun. I have this whole theory about like when it comes to storytelling in FM about how constraints make characters. And I want to try and steer more into that by having these kinds of videos. But they do take a long while to build and make. But I don't know. I just feel like that's where I want to make content at the moment is story stuff in FM. And I feel like 26 is better than any other FM has ever been for storytelling. And that's why I'm so excited to be able to do that, basically. His name's actually Andrew Smith, is the name of my guy. That's the horrendous guy. Is a Scottish fella, I pointed. He is a regen, which makes it better because I can take the piss out of him even more. Yeah, it'll be something like that, Quimby. It will be a very long video that tells the entire story from start to finish. Kind of like I did with my Aaron Walker agent video. Not maybe as long as that. That was excessively long. I say excessively long, it did very well, but yeah. And more like Premier League years length, but less niche than that was. Right, talk about title chances. Absolutely not. I refuse to do so. Hello, Jose. Crawley top of the league. Most of the season Colchester was staying within 2 points all year. Last game of the season was Crawley versus Colchester. Oh, that's cool. One that moved clubs. That's one way to do it. I love that. We beat Lech Poznan 6-2 in the cup, and then our under-19 goes, actually, yeah, I think we'll do a 6-2 as well. Jesus, they'd scored all 6 goals before the hour mark. Shout out to Fidel. Bro's still doing... Oh, wow, he's fallen off hard. Still one about Legia, though. The Polish Cup final, good question. I think it's before the end of the season, isn't it? In fact, it's way before... Okay. A Friday night cup final against Cracovia. It's a derby in the cup final while we're battling them for a league title. Well, of course this is. The narrative writes itself. God, look at our form lately. A derby final slap bang in the middle of us actually trying to win matches. But then again, they've got the same problem we do. So, what I'm saying is, enjoy your title, Jagiellonia. Oh, as long as I don't get any injuries. I'm honestly not trying to, Jose. We are actually technically top again now, which is good, I think. Yeah. We got the best. No, Lecky still got up there, but Christ. Hello, Chris. That is also. I've noticed how the season. Firstly, this works again for me now, but am I being weird? I mean, obviously I am being weird. Does it no longer show the betting odds for the teams on the season preview page? Because if so, also why are we number 1 now? I guess those players who signed in January must have really boosted us up there. But I'm noticing it doesn't show the betting odds on this page anymore. Or is this just another glitch on my... Like, why would they get rid of that? It seems like an odd oversight. It's on another screen. Oh, really? What screen is it on now, then? Because I do want to still be able to use that. Because I use it in videos a lot to show... Because it's all very well a team being, like, 16th favourite. But you could be 16th favourite and be 35 to 1 or 500 to 1. Like, overall. Oh, there. Oh. Also, live league table.
Cooper.
It's weird that you can access that outside of matches. Is that a case there was a match going on at the time or something? It has to, right? The Exody. Thank you for the follow. How's it going, my friend? Yeah, thank you for that, chat. I would never have thought to check that. Okay, so it is still there. Because look, this is the thing. Like, these guys could easily have been 101 to 1 or 250 to 1. Polish teams. Oh, yes. Well, we're playing in Poland. So, yes. There's a lot of Polish chat around these parts. I'm excellent, friend. We've just been drawn in the cup final against our local rivals, who we're also in a league title race against. Everything's coming up Kraków for us at the moment. Right, they're back in the team. Just want to make sure that nobody's been left out that erroneously... Mosquera's not back fit yet. Rodalo's kind of dunzos. You're Polish, nice. Interesting that you used the XD thing. There was a brilliant video chat about Ixter. Is it Ixter? That I think it's a guy called Nick Robinson. He does these interesting videos, obviously. And he did a whole video about why XD as a concept is largely gone from most of the internet cultures of most countries in the world, except for Poland. It's fascinating. So you putting that in chat just reminded me of that completely. It's really, really interesting. It's the sort of thing that it was like a half an hour video. I was like, how am I watching half an hour of this? But he's such a good content creator that I just love that kind of stuff. Now, there is a much more detailed reason for it. I believe, actually, well, Exody, maybe you could actually tell us, or this might not be a thing that you're perhaps aware of, but I assume you are. Why is it that XD and other Polish chatters is such a big thing in Polish internet culture? Because I've actually forgotten what the conclusion he came to in the end was. Super interesting. Hello, Alan. Tell you what, I've just realised what this kind of tastes like. It's the cherry lollipop flavour, but there's a slight almost like cherry cola flavour. Just ever so slight undertone of like that kind of cola-y flavour to it. Speaking of that, I actually watched a video the other day of a guy trying to recreate Coca-Cola. Yeah, it's fascinating because back in the day on like MSN Messenger and AIM and all that sort of shit, XD was a big deal. A friend of mine does still use it quite a lot actually. Maybe he's secretly Polish. I'll have to tell him. I'll be like, have you considered that you might in fact be Polish? Maybe his surname is actually, his name isn't Sam, it's Samuelski. No. There must be a Polish version of Samuel. I'm guessing it's probably just Samuel. Is that a name that would crop up much in Poland? Probably is, isn't it? I watched Jet Lag, yeah. Pog was, when it finished, Pog was like, wow, they're really milking this. And I'm just like, yeah, but I feel like that's good because it was just such a fun episode. Easily one of my favourite YouTube series at the moment. In fact, series-wise, I don't think anything even comes close to Jet Lag in terms of quality. I'm really enjoying this like renaissance of long-form, well-made, but not overly edited YouTube, I guess. Like the editing is great, but it's minimalistic in the right places, I feel like, with Jet Lag. It's fantastic. Oh, slide it back, come on! He's there again. Dusan Obradovic doing bits. Do they? What, like people like Virtual? Alone outside. I mean, if Bayern would let me do it, I'd probably be tempted. But I'm also less reliant. I don't like to be reliant on lone players because ultimately you are developing someone else's player at that point. Samuel, fair enough. I figured that maybe they'd throw in a cheeky little not Polish L on the end. You know, Samuel. Speaking of Samuels, holy Sammy. Sammy, it arrived. We were doing a little taste test earlier of the Valentine's flavours. The Lovebird Shaker is absolutely wonderful. Pog is a huge fan. And the lollipop flavour is immense. So thank you for sending those out. I didn't even know they were coming until I suddenly got the order. I was like, he's done it again. He's done it. They came insanely fast. I only got the notification of distribution yesterday, and it already rocked up at the start of stream. It was perfect timing. I was able to answer the door and unbox on stream. I agree, Anton. I think that some of the photo ones, I feel like they're not any more overpowered than they were before, but they're better at playing the game now, so it feels more overpowered. Yeah, I couldn't believe it was a 55-minute video. They just fly by. They're just so well made. Oh, just wide. There's also this Polish Yiddish context. Shmul. Ah, okay, that makes sense. Throwing in those little SZs. Nice to see it. Yeah, shout out to Benfica. We were talking about that earlier. Just what a result. Not even a result. The result is fantastic alone, but when I watched the highlights with Pog, I'd watched it and I just got excited even though I knew what was going to happen. And I just turned to her and I went, I fucking love football sometimes. And it's shit like that that just makes me love. Oh, so these are not out yet. Oh, I see. So chat, yeah. This is a little preview of what they're going to be. That's exciting, actually. Also, Sammy, I obviously, as you know, I'm sensitive to caffeine. I found that this one is a bit more of a mellow one in a way that I've actually been really, really enjoying. Like, it's not making me get all jittery, which is nice. Which is very nice. I think, to be fair, Holy doesn't, as far as I can tell, have as much caffeine as energy drinks do in the caffeinated one, which is nice. It's a bit more of a mellow thing, and I really, really appreciate that. And now we're level. Crap. The new caff. I see. The best way to describe it is smooth. It's like a smooth uptick. Because I originally was actually planning to have a caffeinated one today earlier. I've got an apple alligator here, but obviously the Holy turned up, and I was like, right, we'll just try the new one. Delayed release. Sounds like my medication. After 6 years. Oh, really? I didn't realise there was an extra undertone to it. That's even better. Odds would have won. Probably. But I think, honestly, I have a lot of love for Xabi Alonso, so I'm kind of glad he's out of there. We were discussing Real Madrid earlier about how I truly have... I don't think I've ever disliked a football team as much as I like this current Real Madrid... Sorry, as much as I dislike this current Real Madrid team. It's Pogon. We were actually talking about Pogon earlier, Exodi, because I was saying to chat that if we had like an unbeaten season on the go, the exact type of team that would beat us to end that run would be Pogon. And then I looked and I realised we'd only lost 2 home games this entire season, one of whom was to Pogon. Because of course they have. Out of interest, Exodi, how do I say the second part of Pogon's team name? Because it's one of those names that I'm pretty good at the Polish pronunciations now, but that one has always kind of stumped me. Is it literally just Szczecin? Or is there a slightly more nuanced way of saying it that I want to make sure I'm saying their name with the correct respect when we play them? Hello, Pog. How's it going, love? Perez. I mean, he is, but the players just seem so unlikable these days. At least in the past with Real Madrid, there would be issues with the club and their sort of behemothing elements to them, but there were still likable players that played for the team. But they all just seem to have gone now. Or the manager was likable or whatever. Shekin. That's tough. It's so simple, I know. Commission by Holy. Honestly, full disclosure, of course, I do receive a slight commission on the Holy Orders, but I'm just happy that they wanted to get involved with stream. I've never had a company seem that as interested in supporting the streams as they are, and that's, I suspect, largely down to Sammy. I would be largely suspecting that, but regardless, it doesn't matter, right? It's cool, and hopefully they're getting a good experience out of it as a brand, right? Like the Knights Templar. It is like the Knights Templar. That is not the first time we've had that. When's the MOT due? I think it's the 13th of Feb, Pog, but I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to check that. The Magneto Optic Trap. That's the one. For those unaware, in the UK, we have a yearly thing that you have to do on your car after, I believe it's 3 years old, which is essentially, it's probably got a different name in your country. Basically, it has to be checked for roadworthiness once a year. It's called an MOT. It can fail them, and 6.7. That is mad. Yearly, yes. It's not normally an expensive thing, but unless, of course, you find huge issues with it, and they basically check to make sure your car is still roadworthy. It's a little inspection to say, hey, you can still drive this, basically. To be fair, it's a good thing. Like, as much as it costs you money to sort, it stops there being, well, in theory, it's supposed to limit the number of undrivable cars on the road. Pog, I believe it's the 13th of February, but I don't know for sure. I will check my calendar on Google in case it's in there. Did previous Matt actually do something smart and put it in his Google Calendar? Let's find out. Get your predictions in chat now. It's seeming like no. It's looking like a no. This is where it was actually January. That's a good point, actually, yeah. So yeah, Pog, Coldplay says if you just whack the address in, sorry, the number plate in the DVLA website, we can find out. Furman's on it again. I guess my next question then is, how did I know that it was coming? I suppose I didn't, did I? That's what it was. It was the email reminder. I probably had that come through. I believe it is the 13th of February, but I could be wrong. I mean, I could probably just check it right now, actually, while the second half progresses, but that's no fun, is it? I want to watch the goals. And I probably want to make a substitution or two. Also, worth noting, I don't know if this is a live league table, because I don't know if they're actually playing right now. They are. We could move 3 points clear with a head-to-head advantage over them, which would be sensational. Which Holy pack to try? So, it depends on what you're into, because Holy have a lot of different sub-items. So, they have 4 main categories of drink, which is obviously the energy one, which is what I'm drinking right now, which is like a sachet, of course. You've got milkshakes, which are fire, and I love those with my protein shakes, a hydration sachet, and iced tea, which is surprisingly good. I'm not even much of an iced tea drinker, but I love this stuff. It's got me drinking it. So if you're an energy drink person, I would say 100% go after the energy stuff, because there's a huge selection of them, and you can get like a trial pack that has like loads of sachets just in one big box of them, which is kind of dope. That's what I have been working my way through, because the Holy cupboard is, God bless it, still rather full at the moment, and it's only going to get fuller. Thanks to Sammy here. Every 2 years. Yeah, so I think in the UK it's after 3 years. Your office is called the Holy Temple. That's incredible. A company that takes the piss out of itself is my type of company. Hello, Rob. Oh, mate, that's so nice to hear. How many videos have you done, Rob? I'm just doing a little check-in with you now. How many videos have you recorded so far? What would you say the biggest thing you've noticed is? And what would you say the biggest thing that you've improved from video 1 to video X that you're on right now? I'm really curious. Also, if you have any questions about content-related stuff, feel free to drop me a DM on any platform that you can find, pretty much, and I'll answer anything. But ultimately, I can't take you any higher than where I am right now. Unless maybe you're just better than me. So maybe I can. But the best I can do is give you advice based off experiences, right? Let's switch this out a little bit. Is anyone that's really struggling? Naeem definitely needs a rest. I get coffee in. Why not? Get the beers in. Are they battery dipped in sugar? Honestly, no, they don't. They're much more mellow flavors. That's one of the reasons I prefer drinking these than I do energy drinks for the most part, because the flavors are more They taste like things that exist. The best way to describe them is the holy flavors taste like stuff that is real. Hello, Franco. Banned to Australia. That's a good question. If only we had a representative. There we go. Postage is mad. Fuck. A batch order. I used to do the same thing with buying NHL stuff over from the States. Like, my friend's ex-husband, he was American. And when he was moving over to the UK from Chicago to move in with my mate, I got a lot of NHL stuff shipped to his house in Illinois. And then he brought it over on the plane with me. That way I could avoid having to pay absurd postage fees. Come on, Abbott. Oh, it's yes! It's another one. It's 4. Get in. Those that can't teach, innit? I learned that from Lil Nepetiz. Okay. No worries, man. That's what the one name of the Polish teams in our top flight for us that has always been a little bit of a difficult one for me, because there is so many characters that are different to the average English speaker. Like, a lot of it's been quite easy for me to learn because I know that certain sounds together make certain sounds or certain letters, but that one has always still struggled to get through to me. Thanks for stopping by though, friend. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And good luck to Pogon and the rest of the season. They'll probably win the league because it's Poland. 9 videos, nice. Speaking videos improved massively. Thumbnails, okay, cool. Thumbnails is an underrated part of it. I'm not saying get a thumbnail designer anytime soon, of course, particularly not if you're doing quite frequent uploads, because that would cost money, quite a lot of money. But if you ever move to more sporadic uploads, I would consider investing, if you were to invest in one thing, and you've already kind of covered a lot of other bases, I would say a thumbnail designer is an absolute godsend. Like, since I've hired Will, it's made my life 10 times easier, because I didn't realize how much of stress with making videos for me came down to the fact that I then had to make a thumbnail for it and was crap at it. But passing that ability to do that on to Will, someone who's excellent and I trust to execute the task perfectly, because he, not only has he never failed me with an idea, every idea I've come to him, he's always been like, how about this instead? And it's always been better than my original idea. He's just brilliant. So shout out to Will. If you ever need thumbnail designs, hit me up. I know a guy who could always do with some extra work. Hate doing YouTube and always tell them to do the VODs. Yeah. There's really no reason not to put your VODs on YouTube. The reason I do it, out of interest, if you are wondering, which you're probably not, but the reason I put my VODs on YouTube is because the Twitch experience for watching back as a viewer is quite poor. So I figured the best way to get a better experience for viewers would be to have them on YouTube, which is a platform they're more familiar with, and it's easier to navigate from a player standpoint. The second channel isn't monetized, and in a way I actually think that's better, because the way I look at it is like, a lot of you are already paying Twitch subs to not get ads on Twitch, so it'd be weird if you then rocked up and saw YouTube ads on the VODs, right? Sometimes you might see them on there anyway because it might get copyright claimed occasionally. YouTube keeps them for longer. It saves them in high quality, which means I can then go back and get them if I need to. Yeah. That was what the original second channel started. I did actually upload a couple of non-VOD videos to it at one point when I was experimenting with the evergreen style content before I switched my entire channel over to that essentially being the thing. Oh my god, what a strike! Closest in Europe, that doesn't surprise me at all. Rarely does a stream go by without us discussing the goings-on of the current Polish league. Obviously, there haven't been a huge amount of changes lately because the league's only just resumed, has it not? The giraffe video, precisely, yeah. No music. Yep, agreed. That is the one downside, but unfortunately, there's simply... The only thing I could say is, here's an idea. This is a bit of a niche idea, but what I might start doing is putting the stream playlist, as if we've conceded another one, in the description to the VODs. So if nothing else, you could whack it on Spotify, should you have it, in the background on a low level, and then it would essentially, obviously it wouldn't line up to what I'm actually listening to at the time, but it would at least kind of give you an idea of the vibe of music that we'd be listening to at the time, I suppose. Now, that wouldn't work for today, because ironically, I'm not using my normal playlist today. I'm using a GTA Vice City soundtrack playlist today, because I just felt 80s for some reason. Straight red carpet. Yeah, no, you're not alone in that, Ease of Tackles. I get a surprising amount of messages from the VODies that use them for that exact purpose, because you can watch whenever you like and you can pick up whenever, right? Sane has... I wouldn't say he's been dog shit, but he has had some poor performances in games like this, where he seems to get complacency quite a lot in these kind of games where we're quite far in front and he seems to switch off. I've noticed we've had a lot of 4-2s and 4-3s where we've barely given up any shots and he's conceded them, but he's better in tighter games, Which, ironically, if that's a feature of 26, then that's actually really cool depth to it. It might just be that I'm imagining things where they're not. It's a kind of Bader Meinhof situation here, but still. As on the VODs. I mean, I could... The only reason that would ever change is because chat... I said I was potentially thinking of doing an old school Let's Play series on the second channel, but chat said that I wasn't allowed to do it unless I monetized that channel. So, it's a tough one. Lukiba. Thank you very much. Or Lukeba? Why do I always struggle with this? Thank you for the 7 months. That's very, very nice of you. Hope you're having a wonderful afternoon. It's just the afternoon now. YouTube Premium, of course, yeah. That's, you'd be surprised, actually, how much of my ad revenue each month comes from YouTube Premium. It's always amazed me that it's a surprise. You get a decent chunk, considering the amount of views you get through YouTube Premium is obviously quite low. But you get a nice chunk of it. I have to check my actual statement out, but the percentage is pretty fat. I literally have my statement because they sent it to me a couple of days ago. See if I can find it. You'd be surprised at the percent. I don't know if they actually tell you the percentage. I hope they do. Let's see. Yeah, YouTube Red. That's about 25% of the overall amount of YouTube revenue I got last month. I'll just tell you, actually, why am I even hiding this? So YouTube revenue last month that I received was £445. Of that, £68.64 was YouTube Red, which is quite a big percentage of that. Bear in mind, that's a Christmas month, so it's obviously elevated due to that. Hello, Yalcin. And it's not the Champions League. Oh. Well, it's been a year. When was the last time you actually tuned in so I can catch you up? Cracovia 1. Yeah, it's... Let's actually lock back in, because I realise I'm getting pulled away from the insane battle right now, which is still 1 point separating us. I love that the title race is us. 8%. Is it 8%? 60, nearly £70. I think more than... Surely nearly £70 as a percentage of 445. It's got to be more than 8%, right? Or am I being thick here? Seems a bit more than that. Point is, it's still sort of more than you'd think. It's called YouTube Red on the back end, at least. On the statements I get from my MCN, 15%. But in the past, it was a lot lower. Like a lot lower. Yeah, Yagalonia. Also, shout out to Lekia, who, while not really in this, have at least put some form together lately. Unlike Legia Vorshavar, who have decided that they don't fancy Europe next season, apparently, and might end up finishing behind Lech Poznan at this rate. Look at the goal differences. Also, Polonia beat on -34. Last 2 weeks. Okay, so basically that's pretty much most of this season, I'm guessing then. So obviously we're in the Europa League. We got to the knockouts of the Europa League, because I know someone asked earlier and I forgot to update them on that. We got to the knockouts, actually came 10th in the Europa League group, including beating Lille 5-0. We also beat Braga and Lazio. End up drawing... we lost to Aberdeen in the group stage, though, ironically, and then drew them in the knockout round, and sadly... Oh, he's not in the game. After all that, I'm so sorry about that, MD Games. Unless I spelled that wrong. More Polish games in Europe. Good shout. We need to check that. Got to the knockouts. Drew Aberdeen again. Got knocked out by... Basically, I say Aberdeen. It was more got beat by Kevin Nisbet. He scored 2 against us in the league phase. A hat-trick against us in the away game. He got 5 goals against us in the group. In the course of 3 games this season. So we went out to them, unfortunately. However, there was still one more Polish side in Europe in the Conference League. Let's see. Oh my god, they're still in! Wait, hang on. No, they're not. No, they are. They're in the quarterfinals. They're still in Europe. Piasklevica. 1-0 down to Eintracht Frankfurt. But the fact that they're still in Europe in April is amazing. Carrying the flag of Poland proudly. I mean, if they do get through here, they are cooked. Because look, it would be what? Bologna, Feyenoord, and possibly West Ham? No, same here, Gordo. The last time I watched live TV that wasn't sport, in my house at least, we obviously watched live TV at Pog's parents because they were watching it, was probably the Gavin and Stacey's Christmas special in 2024. That's how long ago it was. YouTube Music Free, of course, yeah. I mean, hey, my logic to creator support, so to speak, has always kind of been, and I realise this is probably puts me at a disadvantage in terms of revenue and stuff, but ultimately it's not the end of the world. I'd always want people to support me because they just enjoyed the content and wanted to contribute to that production. that's kind of the reason why I've never done things like subathons and stuff on Twitch, because I always feel like, I guess I'd want people to be supporting outright because they just really enjoy what I'm doing, rather than because of a direct sort of psychologically perhaps manipulative incentive, I guess. And that's not to say that there's anything wrong with doing that. I just personally don't like it myself, which is why I don't personally do it. And probably wouldn't likely change that. 13.1 points on the year. And yet, we're only going to go up to 10th because of Scotland's insane year and the Netherlands. Outside of Belgium are the real losers in all this, to be fair. That's crazy. News on Christmas Day. We watched the King's speech just because the second we got down to Pog's parents, it was just on. Looking up my QuickBooks. Yeah, that is a very common one. England still have 9 teams in Europe. I mean, they might actually genuinely be putting up another 30-point season, to the point where I may have to consider what we're going to do about England. Because in the Champions League, I think we'll know more after next week, actually, once the second legs come around, because they might lose a load of teams. They probably won't, though, knowing them, right? Okay, training reports there are all good. Dude is injured. No! That's only a tight calf. It'll be fine. It could be that just because I've got England switched on as playable, it might be, or like view only or whatever, it might be overpowering them even more. So it might be a case that we may have to turn them off, which would suck, because I like having them on because of the context and being able to look down the leagues and stuff. It is just nice to have that there. But they're obviously getting more and more overpowered. To the point where, like last year, they dropped a 33-point season, which I'd never seen in any Building a Nation save ever. And this year, realistically, they could do something similar. And if they put 2 30-point seasons together in a row... Now, that being said, it could just be one of these things where we should just stick it out, because it's only a 5-year window. We're not anywhere near on that level of competing yet, and maybe we could overcome them. So we will see. If it gets to like season, I don't know, 20 or something, and they are still doing that to the point where they're like 50 points clear of every other nation, then it's sort of, oh no! Oh, that's really bad. Tomasjevic, torn lateral meniscus. 6 months. Ton of more top leagues. Oh, we can handle it, but it would be a little bit more slow. England, I remember there was one save we had. I think it was the Irish save where England were not as dominant, but we simply couldn't take advantage of it. Yeah, England are kind of mimicking that in real life, which unfortunately means that the game is doing a pretty good accurate representation, unfortunately. But no fun. This feels like an injury that you don't want. I mean, that's him cooked for the season, isn't it? In fact, not just the season. Bro is likely going to be out until long into next season. Which, though, is okay. Because one thing this club does have is left-backs. That being said, we don't have one in the squad currently outside of Krzyzanowski, do we? So it would probably behoove us to bring someone up from the lower squads to fill in that spot, because we are a little light there. So the question is, who does that go to? Who gets that award? Let's just sort by CA for the time being and have a look at anybody that sort of sticks out. Because we did have a lot of left backs. Now, some of them may have gone out on loan, which means that they can obviously come back. Oh, dear. I mean, Hyodo is the first one that sticks out to me. He's not great, is he? But we may not have a choice, because I don't think there's anyone else that really... I'll check the under-19s as well, just in case. But most of the players of this level are in the second team. Let me just filter it, actually, by wing-backs. Make it a little bit easier. We want... Fiona! Defensive midfielders, because that's technically what it is. Left side. So we've got him and Andre Luis, who's the other option, who's even worse in the tackle. The youth intake guy, I believe, was a right back, not a left back, I think. Nathan Bluebird, thank you for the follow. Are you a Cardiff fan by any chance? Yes, shit for his development too. It's that perfect window when he really needed to be playing. Oh, and Saeed Safi, of course, but unfortunately he is... he was part of that first wave of players, and that hideous moustache. The 3-star goalkeeper, that's probably... Was he French by any chance? Because if so, he's probably getting moved up as well. Who was the other guy? Under 19s, perhaps? Oh, it switches it. Okay. Same thing again. Defensive midfielders. Left-sided. Moisen. I don't think he can even play the role. Yeah, as far as... Let me just switch on the second team as well. So these are the options. In fact, yeah, the first team as well. So Krzyzanowski, Tomasjevic. It's probably going to be Hyodo for a little bit. I think a lot of our guys that were potentially backups here have actually gone out on loan, unfortunately. So for the time being, it's going to be Yoshifumi Hyodo as the backup, at least. I don't think he'll likely play that much because we don't have a lot of games other than the cup final, really, that are interfering with things. This, by the way, was the right back from the intake. God, he's good. He's absolute. I'm so excited about him. The fact that we've got another worldie of a fullback in our intakes is so fun. 7 a.m. Nice. When you say watching, do you mean the VODs or like the shorter form content? Ready to play. He's probably not quite ready to play because you remember he plays in a position that is, there's probably 4 guys still ahead of him in the lineup there. And that's okay. We don't need to rush him. That being said, am I actually getting him? Yeah, we are. Okay, cool. We're just so stacked there. Left wing backs we have out on loan. It's not easy to see. Actually, no, it's quite easy to see because all I need to do is go back to this screen and then just remove the not at club bit, right? So really, you've got, in terms of high potential dudes, there's Casadeisus, who's out on loan at the moment at Wisła Płock. And then you've got this guy who's the other dude that I quite liked the look of, Arthur van der Werf. He's quite decent. He's more of a physicals man than he is, like, his crossing and dribbling aren't amazing. But he's only 18. But he's got great physical ability and he can at least tackle. He's a bit like an Inco Tarrier type of chap, right? He's not bad by any means. It's kind of crazy that he's been playing in the second tier of Poland this year, actually. Sorry, third tier, in fact. Definitely worth a look, though. We've got depth here. But you could definitely see how, I think it might behoove us to maybe try and sign another one for left wing back in the summer, just to give us that little bit more depth there in terms of first team quality. Because a lot of the guys that we've got, they feel like they have some issues in terms of the defensive side of the game, which I feel like Krzyżanowski with his 12 tackling and Damasiewicz with his 12 tackling don't really have as much, at least. Let me just make sure I turn these filters back off again. Switch that back around again to only show that. But there's not much we can do about it now, but there's something to look out for in the summer. Oh, the Building a Nation videos. A lot better than what they have. Yeah, it's so tough, Nathan. The only thing you can really do is to bring players in for free and try to flog them really cheap to other sides in your league. Brazil is a great place to do that because of you can get some ridiculously decent CA guys, for their level at least, basically for free. And that's how we bridged the gap on the 24 save. Now, I don't know how easy that is in 26, to be fair. Alejandro Carreño. Oh, I love me a 20 jumping reach. 199 centimeters. What's that? 6'7", 6'6", maybe? I forget. We've got a guy that's similarly to him. We've got a guy called Sergio Gomez who's 6'8", but he is currently injured, unfortunately. Oh, this might have next gen lads in it. It should do, right? Owen Beck. Do you know earlier I was talking to you guys about how we had an argument with Jurgen Klopp once about a player playing as a wing-back instead of a wing-back? Pretty certain that Owen Beck was it that exact player that we had the argument with him about. What are the odds of that? Probably quite large. 6'6". Okay, cool. 20 jumping reach at 6'6" is actually pretty good. I've seen players that are way taller than that don't have 20 jumping reach. God, he's a bit good. Tallest man in Japan as well. Oh. And he's fast enough that he actually could play left back for you. Because, yeah, I mean, Kuzemka, I'm not sure what his PA actually is like. I suspect that we got a lot of development out of him early doors. And where is he now? Yeah, Krzyżanowski's moved into that territory now where a lot of this is going to be decided by his performances because he's now hit that 23 marker. In fact, does he have big matches? Paw in the air. The fans really like him. Consistency. Balanced personality. It might not... I don't know, actually. I'm not sure. He might just be neutral on it, in fairness. But yeah, you're right. The fact is, he still performs so well that he's impossible to drop because he's just so well-rounded. When you look at his actual numbers for us over the last few seasons, that's the wrong button, Matt. He always, and this year especially, has arguably been, other than really the first season in the league, and he's played less games, his best output year for us in terms of contributions per 90 anyway. He does enjoy big matches. Excellent then. I'd say Kuzemka definitely peaked. His issue was always... We do still have Rodado, but to give you an idea, this is now where he ranks in amongst our squad. He has just fallen off so hard in the last season and a half. He still scores the occasional goal for us, but he just simply doesn't get involved. He's 32 now. I was considering selling him in the summer, but we weren't sure who actually we wanted. This summer, though, it would make sense for us to let him leave. Not for a huge amount of money, just so he gets that. Not that we need the cash there either, but getting that off the bill would be nice because, you know, he doesn't play. He doesn't care that he's not playing, but yeah. Ghost Summer, thank you for the follow. He's been a great servant to the club. Like, since we've joined, he has kind of regressed every single season, pretty much. Yeah, exactly. And that's okay. Finding Wonder Kids. Ooh, it depends, Exhaust, because I take it this was the team, Suki, you were looking for, not the other one. Let's see where we can find out. Let's find the league table at least. See what they're actually cooking up in Serie B. Shout out to Swallow. Yeah, it would depend on what sort of level your team is at and what season you're in, Exhaust, because I find that depending on those factors, there are certain countries that you will be able to find better Wonder Kids in, because it's all relative, right? So if you're Polish top flight, newly promoted with a little bit of cash, you can find Wonder Kids for days that are relative to you, whereas if you're, say, Juventus, you kind of have to shop a bit more smartly, because a lot of those guys that would maybe be considered a Wonder Kid for us are simply not even on the radar of a club like Juve. And it's often... It is about the country because the youth rating makes a huge difference, but it's also specifically to me about the clubs within those countries too. Because you'll often end up paying a huge tax just to sign certain players, and you can often find a guy 10 times cheaper who's almost of the same level of quality from other countries. But yeah, if you let me know where you're at in your save, I can definitely point you in the right direction. Oh, for me? Oh, even better. But then for us right now, our biggest sort of areas has been mostly Africa, specifically, and certain South American countries, but not the big ones. So no Brazil and Argentina really yet because the prices are too high, but Colombia, Venezuela occasionally too, Bolivia, Uruguay to an extent, but less so. Colombia is always great because you can get them really cheap. And then, you know, your Cote d'Ivoire, your Senegals, not really Egypt, Tunisia. Mostly North Africa is off limits to us at the moment because the prices on the players are far more steep in those nations as they are once you start to go a bit further south into the west of Africa. Like Nigeria, Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire. That whole cluster of countries is phenomenal. Nigeria, I think I've said Nigeria twice, they're that good. And then Tanzania as well, South Africa, they're a little bit of a middle ground team. Where is the deck playing these days? Good question. He was on loan at Casapia. Where was Reggiana, by the way? I realise I probably didn't give that enough attention. Benevento were getting relegated to the third tier as well. Enjoy Serie C. You won't, but try, at the very least. Left back in a youth intake. Holy shit! Yeah, he's absurd. I'm curious to know what sort of development has he had over the couple of years that he would have presumably been at your club, because his physicals are phenomenal. But I suspect he probably came through with relatively good physicals as well, right? Germany's been great in this save as well. For the lower leagues of Germany, yeah, for sure. We don't at the moment, Garden, no. With players like Van den Bale, who actually did really well against us in a game we played earlier this season. I didn't even notice it until I was watching the highlights back to record them. He's very much on the radar of that. There he is. Oh, he plays for Nacional. Of course he does. It wasn't Casapia, was it? Yeah, he's on a free transfer to Nacional. It's just not worked out for him. Two important Egypt teams. Yeah, Egyptian teams will cost you a fortune. You will occasionally find a cheap player from Egypt. Always sign them. If you find a guy from an Egyptian club who you've kind of like the look of and he's anything under about $500,000, immediately go after them because they're few and far between. But there's always a couple of clubs in Egypt that sometimes will accept way less money than you'd expect. The other thing is with Egyptian sides, they put their players on quite big contracts quite young as well, so they'll ask for quite large wages on top because their existing contract, even if they're only 18 years old or whatever, they'll already be on a couple of grand a week a lot of the time. There's a decent amount of money flowing there, so it's quite tough to bring them in on reasonable deals. So that's why we've not really shopped there much. They tend to expect quite large wages, unfortunately. Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco, Egypt, any of those nations really is going to be really difficult for you to sign on the cheap from, pretty much. Now, as we start to earn more money, it starts to become less of an issue because you will find that they have higher youth ratings. Egypt especially has a very high youth rating. Now, I do need to adjust the bench because we definitely do have a spot available for him, of course, which he will now fill. Where is he? Oh, wait. Hang on. Just turn that back off again. There we go. There we go. Hyodo. Number 80. Actually had a number. South Africa is good, but they are still going to be a little bit more pricey than some of the West African nations. Mali, yes. Mali is brilliant for non-contract and amateur players. You'll get a really high number of them that are decent from my little test that I did. Destroyer has 13 goals this season, by the way, but somehow only averages a 6.85. That role is so cursed. Now, hopefully that will change because of the tweaks thanks to Anarif's little idea. Oh shit, we actually can't do this, can we? Right, Christ. Who's coming to the bench then, lads? I guess no. It might have to be just a grayed out goalie. Or someone from the under-19 squad. There isn't a goalie, perhaps? Anyone at all? Okay. What about the second team? It's more likely to be the second team, isn't it? Just want anyone who counts as under 22 that isn't a goalie. Oh, he's tired as hell. What a great chance that would have been for the young man. Anyone in here at all? Wow, literally it's just going to be him. It's going to be Mirage. Oh, wait. Where's he gone? No, I can't find the damn guy. Yeah, I'll have to do. The youth prospect. He won't count yet, I don't think, because he's not actually old enough to count. It sounds dumb, but he hasn't actually been at the club long enough to count for that yet, I don't think. Who do I drop? Probably Kubesian. Yeah. Why on earth has it done that? Okay, that'll do. So we've got Furman in the team there, and on the bench we've got... Wait, we need another one on the bench, I think, don't we? I still don't think it's going to let me do it. Oh, no, it will do. Who's the third one, then? Weird. Yeah, so Mali is incredible. Well, the thing that I did in that scouting video that I'd not really taken the time to do before was to actually figure out statistically which countries are best to look in for the amateurs and the non-contract guys. But I did it in a way because I did the test with the editor switched on, so I could actually see what kind of average PAs the guys were getting. And the reason I like Mali so much is because you get a nice chunk of players from it, like a solid number, but it's not too many. So you don't have to go through too many players. But the proportion of those players that you do have that seem to be relatively good is really, really high, which is awesome. You're an executioner how to continue a giraffe. Oh, I could never. What would the giraffe ever do to you that I would require to execute a giraffe? I couldn't possibly. Why am I a Danish zoo? That was a very old joke, but I could never touch a giraffe. I would like to make friends with a giraffe, though. Another of my potential favourite animals, sort of in the big three, along with a capybara, a giraffe, and a goose, would be the sort of three of the Mount Rushmore of favourite animals that I have. You'd think it would be that part, and Dusan Obradovic does it again, baby. Now, we should be beating GKS quite easily. Have we won every game today as well? Because it does really seem like we're just doing exactly what we did last season, where now that we're out of Europe and we've got a bit less fixture congestion, red pandas are very cute. Geese and swans, they are, but they're also just fun. I'm a fan of a goose. I'm wearing a goose jumper right now. I still want to get that specific goose t-shirt / jumper made, though, that has all the different breeds of goose on it. And the taxonomies underneath. Playing against Australia. It's a very... Actually, yeah, I can totally see why you think that. Their kit is very Australia coded. It's actually Good Day KS is what their team name actually stands for. And they've done the usual thing and scored. And it wasn't Shkurukin for once. A Komodo dragon. They're fun. More of a business goose fan. To be fair, that is what I want to get for my tattoo. Which Pog, I think, said No. I actually need to save up some money, set some aside for it. If I'm going to get a tattoo after, 15 years, I want to make sure I'm getting it done right, you know? Natty Caps is spectacular for a lot of those kind of nations too, because you get them genning at the lower league, as you say, French sides, if you've got them switched on, and they're so good. Particularly at clubs like Caen. We actually found a guy from Caen earlier today who was in the next gen list. Snow Leopard. I can't think of Snow Leopard without thinking of the guy we had playing for us in the first season of the African Adventure Safe. Daz has just woken up. We had a striker playing for... who was it? 11 Arrows, whose name was Richard Nangombe. But we used to call him the Snow Leopard because, well, it was just this random white dude who was fantastic and was called Richard Nangombe. And he was incredible. A squirrel? I do like a squirrel as well, actually. I like any creature that you could just randomly come across when out for a run. You know? Squirrels are kind of brazen. Squirrels? Yeah. They kind of go everywhere. That's what they do. African adventures. That's what I'm here for. God, I'd love to be able to revisit that at some point. Maybe I could do it as a YouTube video at some point still. Oh, come on. Easily finished. Yes. Come on, Katala. Rats. I genuinely can't remember the last time I saw a rat. Like, out and about. Maybe when I was in London one time. But that's about it. Sometimes you do see field mouse, which is very cute. But that's not the same thing. They're tiny little things. All those bison and white boar. Yeah, we have those in the city, don't you know? I am, Doc. It's true. Down by the cathedral. Snow leopards for days, mate. They're everywhere. Always sitting on the cannon. A rubber room with rats. Interesting. Were you part of the MK Ultra experiments? That sounds horrifying. Actually, rats, as far as pet rats go, they are adorable. Viking used to have pet rats. Back when he lived in this really fun flat, right back in the day, we'd always just be at parties and we'd stand in the kitchen in like a big circle with our shoulders touching. Just standing there drinking or smoking or whatever. And the rats would... You put one on one of our shoulders and then the rats would just go around everyone's shoulders in like a big circle. It was the cutest fucking thing. They're adorable. I can't remember what their names were. Yeah, cats in the garden. We do get a surprising amount of like local random cats in the garden. We know a lot of their names, but Pog just has other names for them for some reason. There's a cat that we thought was called... Well, I called it Dennis for no apparent reason. Then we found out it was a girl cat, so now Pog calls it Denise. Which is solid. Still not the cat's name. We have no idea who owns any of these guys. Still developing. I think he is. But I think he needs to come back into the team more. What happened was, when we went through that period of fixture congestion, he, Rodriguez, and Eduardo were constantly rotating in and out of the team as a trio. And then when the music stopped and the congestion kind of eased up, these two just happened to be in the team at the time. And because we were winning, I just kept quite a steady lineup ever since then. So I do feel bad for Abdullahi because he's a fantastic centre-back that luckily isn't complaining yet, but I probably overlooked him slightly. Cracovia are losing as well. This is dreamland for us. I'll tell you what, we win this and they lose. 4 points with 4 games to go, because that's a really winnable game for them. I love how the second is so weirdly misaligned there. I'm guessing it's because of the... Oh, it's because it's aligned to the team name and not to... Odd choice. It's like it's not in its own column. We have definitely been cooking. Those little tactical tweaks have brought back fun Wisła football. Like, massively. We're scoring a lot more goals. Still conceding perhaps too many. But when you're scoring 4, it doesn't matter if you concede 2, but it would be nice to get some 4-0s occasionally. Not that our goal difference cares. Like, we are still best goal difference. But as we know from the board, they are upset of us for not conceding less goals, I guess. I mean, Wisła? This is at Newcastle, right? How's he actually got on at Newcastle? I feel like he was injured initially, right? This sounds weirdly like a Nickelback song. I realise it clearly isn't, but it has a slight... Every time I go in the car with Pog and she has her music on, it's always just Nickelback. Pog loves Nickelback. She finds them a very horny band. Business Goose. That's actually kind of sick. However, my actual tattoo idea, I was explaining this to Pog's brother, who's trained to be a tattoo artist, isn't actually Business Goose. What it is it's Business Goose, but he's all disheveled in his suit and stuff, and his briefcase has fallen open and the papers have gone everywhere, and he's sort of struggling. Because the idea for me anyway is that it's Business Goose, but realistically underneath that he's still Silly Goose, and that's why he's struggling, and that's why I wanted to get it as a tattoo, because I think it kind of represents me in many ways, is that I always try to be Business Goose, but Silly Goose is always there really, and that's who I truly am. And that's why I wanted to get it, because that's how I've always felt. I figured if I was going to get a stupid tattoo, I need to at least be able to explain it. And when I told this to my sister, she was like, I hope you get it, because I want to listen to you explain that to people repeatedly. And I look forward to doing that. Right. I probably should give Kuzi a chance. And Ranjbar hasn't played enough lately either. And my assistant's apparently decided that he doesn't exist anymore for some reason. So now's an opportunity to give him some football, perhaps. Even though we're only on a goal up. I want to bring Dura on as well, but... Actually, I'll tell you what we should do. Shodo. It's literally why he's here. Just to I absolutely am. Not having... Well, what they actually complained about, Lord Justin, they just said that we conceded too many goals. That was their only criticism this season. Bear in mind, we had the second best defence in the league. Polish is your first language. Fewer goals. The great thing about language is if you understand what I meant, then language has done its job. I don't always have to speak proper and all that. Biff.
Oh, 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 ho, oh, ho.
You're right there, Stream Nana. Thank you very much for the 29 months, my friend. Wrinkled Sue. Yeah, that's exactly it. Like, for example, Pog has allowed me one day, if we are in a situation where this is possible, to get 6 geese. I managed to talk her up from 1 goose to 6 geese. I'm a good negotiator. Art of the deal with Matt. I can't get you any more money, but I can get you geese. And I've always envisioned one of them being called Mr. Peppercorn and having a tiny little bowler hat. Now, obviously, I wouldn't insist that he would wear that hat, but I would get matching hats with him. He feels like a character in a children's book. Shout out to Mr. Peppercorn the Goose. One day you will exist and I'll love you dearly. Yeah, tie loose around the neck, top button undone. Everything's kind of a little bit sweaty, perhaps. You okay? What do you mean, Ian? I'm a man enjoying life. On drugs. No. Did I make any subs? Shit. No, wait, I did make. Yeah, I did. I made 4 subs. Scared the shit out of me then. Bloody hell. What was I going to say? Yeah, I brought it up to Pog. And then brought out my phone and went to a notes file. And she saw over my shoulder that I had a notes file just called Goose Names. And she was just like, what are you doing? Why have you got a note file called Goose Names? My logic is quite simple. If I'm going to have 6 geese, they need to have names that are appropriate. And I'm not going to be able to think of them on the fly. I need to wait for those names to come to me. Little Miss Pepperpot would crash Peppercorn. You leave Mr. Peppercorn alone. He's a big burly goose. How dare you? Little Miss Pepperpot sounds like a swan. Or maybe even a cygnet. Good win for us, though. We're just kind of... We're being a bulldozer that's an unimpressive bulldozer that's just doing business right now. Which is, I guess, fine. Actually, tell a lie. The gap is only 3 points, and it is to Jagiellonia, who I'm pretty certain... Do we have the head-to-head of them? Because I don't think we do. Shit. That's not great. He's definitely going to miss a game there. Lord Peppercorn Esquire. As long as he gets to have a hat. One day, I mean... I still haven't got my Goose Place water feature, but Pog, to her credit, did actually track down a garden water feature at Christmas that was goose related and better than the one I found at that garden centre. I realise I sound like a proper idiot just talking about this like this, but hopefully it comes across as I enjoy a certain animal, I like things related to them, and having a passion or an interest in things is better than not, right? Rather than sounding like a fucking lunatic. Business bulldozer? Or is it silly bulldozer? Is he secretly silly bulldozer underneath? We got... Wait, did we actually probably look through them yet? Or did I accidentally move on before we'd finished looking through them? I think I did, you know. Regardless, let's have a look now. Exactly. Nana Goose. Well, I've got a few. So I've got Neil the Baby the Goose. One of them. Cicely the Goose is an option I've got. One called Kipling, and I can't remember why. And there was a 5th one I came up with recently, but I've now forgotten what the name was. Anger the Goose, a bit dangerous. There's a video that I sent Pog of me out for a run last year, and I happened to be running along this footpath by the river, right near a load of where goose were like looking after their babbies and stuff. And I was running past and filming at the time, and they were properly hissing at me and like, I nearly said yelling, but kind of actually. Do the squad numbers next season? No. But the best part about having the silly squad numbers is that people get annoyed at me about it, and I revel in that. It hasn't happened yet. But it's going to, because someone is going to lose their rag about it at some point. It'll be a first-time chatter probably, and I can't wait for that moment. I revel for that. I live for the japes. Are you thinking about being that person, God? No, it could be you, like the National Lottery. It's not going to be, I realise. Yeah, exactly. In a way, I kind of am the troll at that point. The mighty goose. So, there's actually surprisingly more gooseberries that are native to the UK than you might think, as I have a goose freaking. Love that. Capybara Museum, no I haven't. Although, where is that firstly? How do I get to there? Oh my god, he's good, isn't he? Pog and I have got this weird tradition that we started doing on Valentine's Day where we go to a museum and then go for like a slap-up meal in the evening. So last year we went to Duxford Air Museum and it was banging. So we're deciding which museum to go to for Valentine's Day this year. Now we thought about the Imperial War Museum in London, but I was like, maybe we should go to a museum that isn't solely about war. Because Pog's that... She loves to read all of the placards and stuff in museums. She's that person. And now I have the attention span to join her in that endeavour. I'm really looking forward to it. What's wrong with the squad numbers? Because we have so many players, a lot of our first team guys have got numbers that are like 50 plus, basically. Thought a bad squad. Oh, yeah. I get a little quiver down my spine. Yeah, he's ridiculously good. Unfortunately, well out of our price range. But still goated, for sure. Right, is there any players here that are Polish and playing in Poland that we can immediately, sadly, say goodbye to? You, unfortunately. A few kind of crappers in here as well. These can't be guys from the Duma, Bichik, Konishi. Oh, dear. Oh, my goodness. Hang on, I might send those around again, actually, some of these guys, because I don't trust those reports. They're on the next-gen list. They must be somewhat better. There's one guy that is at least fully scouted from the next-gen list, and that's the Benevento dude, so we can take a proper look at him, if nothing else. Called Big Tasty Goose. Oh, yeah. Group chat names are some of the most unhinged things imaginable. I'm not in a normal named group chat, as far as I'm aware. Like, we've got one that's simply called shopping lists and other stuff you don't want the government to know about. I can't even remember why. Don't even use that one. You, unfortunately, are... Right, let's have a look at you. God, I wish he was a left back. That would have been solved the issue. Why else would you go there? I think it's just that, historically, as someone with an incredibly poor attention span, I think you can enjoy a museum in other ways. I do read them, but I don't, like, read everything, I suppose. But I was better at it when it's something I'm really, really interested in. So I really enjoyed Duxford Air. If you do get a chance to ever go to Duxford Imperial War Museum, it's all like air-based stuff. It is amazing. They've got like an SL-71 Blackbird there. It's incredible. It doesn't have a plaque on it or anything, which either is a brilliant joke or they've just forgotten. Squad numbers for me is mostly just auto-assign, which is why we end up in the situations like that. Best Wonder Kid on one of those lists, or is it pre... which lists, Jose? Forgive me. It's just way too... I feel like I'd have one that's a little bit more... that sort of tattoo design would probably be a bit too cluttered. Gooseford Air, is that a real thing? No, you can't, Lord Justinian. Not in FM, at least. We thought we might be able to, because we actually have more than 100 numbers assigned, as it happens. Called Bean Sprouts. My Facebook Messenger group chat is... The name of it is... I can't even actually read the full name anymore because it's scrolled off because we just kept adding things to it. Historically so good at museums, but it's just so quick. Been speed running them. There you go. It's Mr. Peppercorn in the flesh. It's seamless editing there. Just incredible. Solid goose you got there, though, to be fair. A Chinese player from your youth intake. You're in Portugal, right? Yeah, I notice you do see a disproportionate amount of Chinese players coming from youth intakes in Portugal. Had numbers like in the NFL. Oh, that's kind of cool, actually. That would annoy even more people, because then there's logic to the madness, and it's not their logic. I respect that. You should stream so you could annoy people with that. And just in general, it's fun. Scrooge McGoose. Hello, Harv. Down. This is the thing, Harv. I put it this way. The sentiment around the Fulham fan base is, thank goodness someone was willing to pay us for him. That doesn't mean that he won't be better for West Ham and maybe offer them something, because depending on how they play. The issue with Adama Traore, and I imagine that any club that he's been at and a fan of that club, so Wolves fans, for example, and other clubs he's been, will have the same opinion, is that he's so close to being a fantastic footballer, but he's just never managed to develop the end product and the decision-making skills to be that player. Because his crossing ability has just never developed to the point where he can actually... He gets into brilliant positions due to his athleticism, but he's just never got the decision-making ability to actually provide that final ball. If that's his biggest issue. That, and I find that often he uses his pace and chooses not to use it in the wrong situations. There are some situations where it's like, this is where your pace should be used, and he doesn't do it, and vice versa. He's a very frustrating player to watch. Gooses. What is the collective name for a group of geese? Is it a gander or a flock? No, I'm not, Harvin. Believe me, I wasn't attempting to sell him to you, unfortunately. That was Fulham's job, and they've succeeded in that. Us getting 2 million for him, amazing, frankly. I've started saying goose morning to Pog as well. She said it to me the other day. It was like she just woke me up and went, goose morning. I was like, right, that's it, I'm stealing it. And Brennan Johnson. Strand Larson is an interesting one. Has Mateto actually gone, or are they just preparing? Is it a gaggle? That makes sense, actually. Collective animal names. Oh, Carroll's a Polish citizen now. I mean, he's never going to get in the Polish squad. I can't having those... a bench player. Yeah, he's the kind of guy that you will bring on in a game, especially in a game you're winning, because he can stretch other teams. But yeah, he's not great. Untitled Goose Game. I think I do actually have Untitled Goose Game as it happens. A friend of mine bought it for me many, many years ago. Doesn't have the days often enough. Yeah, exactly, Andy. I remember one day he had, you'll remember this game. It was a game that Wolves won at Craven Cottage during COVID when Fulham were a newly promoted side. We had that crazy team with like Ola Aina and guys like that. And I think Ola Aina actually scored in that game. And Adama Traore won it for Wolves in the 96th minute with some brilliant goal. But you just don't see enough of that out of him, really. He's never been consistent enough to make those things happen. Right, Katala's injury means he will drop out for this next game. But I'm going to bring Abdullahi back in as well. Actually, it's Legia. This is not a good game to be missing Katala, actually. It's the sort of exact game that might end up... who's performed worse lately? Yeah, Abdullahi in. Swap those two over so they're on the correct feet. That'll do. Gano's a mature... Is he really? Good to know. Motor competing for my lone player every 2 hours. They're just motoring on. Leave them be. The Sally's rating, that's interesting because that resets when they leave and come back, right? So he was averaging well into the 7s when he was here before the move, but now that he's back on loan, 6.84. That is a big drop off. I might even be able to do a stats comparison with him because I actually have all the save files. So it might be good to compare his before and after stats based on when he actually left and when he came back. The metrics I think will be pretty galling, to be honest. Is that bench full? It is, okay. That'll do. Sick. Yeah, top corner from a very acute angle because he does just clap. He could just club a ball occasionally. It was more speculative than I would say precise, right? A mean playthrough. I've actually considered something goose-based in that sense, Lord Justinian, because, those of you unaware, Casapia, the Portuguese side, are actually known as the Geese. I forget what the actual word is in Portuguese, but that is their club nickname, or one of them at least. They're the only large club I could find that have a goose-related name. Gosport Borough apparently also have one, but they're a lot lower down in the world of football. Karamov is a proper clutch player, and as you say, I really hope... Gansos, yes. It was like Osgansos. That was they. I just like that for them. A Waddle. Tower of Giraffes is another favourite of mine. Obviously, everyone loves the Parliament of Owls. Legia are 16th in the form table right now. They're absolutely buggering this up. This is the most chill title race, I thought. Who's Mirage? He was, if you remember the youth intake, when... Damasiewicz and Stasiak came through. There was a third player in that intake that had close to or 5 stars. Mirage was the third player, the sort of forgotten triplet, if you like. Which is ironic because we actually assessed him at the time as being perhaps one of the better options. But he never quite got a chance to rotate up into the main squad. He made the bench for us in the game last time out because of some injuries. Meant that we didn't have enough Polish under-22 players available. Which we should soon do because I think Damasiewicz will count as one of those very soon. And we've got a couple more guys going through. Stasiak apparently is doing very well out on loan too. So that's good news because I think Carroll does have a future in this team. I want more of these guys, you know, not just relying on the foreign imports like we normally do.
Just as Gosport Borough mentioned, my local team live 30 seconds from their stadium. Happy Thursday.
Yeah, love to see it. Thank you very much for the 38 months. Is it true that Gosport Borough's nickname is the Geese, or one of the nicknames they have? Excited about Bob, particularly as apparently it's 27 million plus add-ons, of course. I know City have got some percentage clauses tied in, but that's great. Oh, come on, please be your first ever goal for us. Yes! 3QA, thank you very much for the follow. Ifanye Duru finally scores his first ever goal for Wisła. As far as I'm aware, it's only taken him till May, nearly, to score. I'm glad, though, because with Rodado gone in the summer, most likely, Duro is probably going to be our second choice striker next season in that Katala-style role. Oh, I'm super pleased for him. He seems like a good egg, and his attributes are fantastic. There's really no reason why he should have been this bad. It's so strange. But yeah, Bob feels like a really good, exciting sign. He's Nigerian. Yeah, we have quite a lot of Nigerians in the team. We've got... Actually, in the starting 11 right now, actually, it's only he and Abdullahi, I believe. But we have a couple more around the squad. Nigel, for example. No, Nigel's Zimbabwean, isn't he? Oh, hello. What a useless screen that is. Oh, the unkindness of Ravens. I feel like Ravens get a bad rap, to be honest. A Flamboyance of Flamingos is good. I associate myself with those quite heavily. Gooseport or Godsport. Oh, that's sick. I love city names and stuff, or etymology of things, basically, that are a little bit opaque. So, for example, this might not be correct, but I'm pretty certain that the material rubber is actually named after the eraser, the name for the eraser in England, and not the other way around. That might be a lie that I've just read somewhere. But I remember reading that the other day and thinking, damn. Bears FC. Yes, they're a Bahamian side, are they not? I love bringing them up just because it's called Bears. They used to be called Insurance Management Bears, which somehow makes them even better. Smart-ass birds. Yeah, but I feel like, wouldn't you say that vultures and various other carrion birds should get a much worse reputation compared to ravens? I guess it's because ravens are more of an omen, I guess. That and perhaps, is the raven reputation more associated with the fact that ravens often are around the Tower of London, which was obviously, you know, a keep and a prison and an execution spot. So perhaps they've gained that reputation due to that. I don't know. Look at us. This is way too intellectual for our chat. What's happened? Insurance Management Bears 100% wear top hats. They also wear those like 80s style Gordon Gekko shirts. The ones that are like white but blue with the white collars or the pinstripe. You know what I mean? It's very Gordon Gekko. Rubber, noun, origin of the word goes back to 1770 when the chemist Joseph Priestley noticed that the lines drawn with a pencil could be removed using rubber. That is, the pencil lines got rubbed out, so rubber derived from the English verb to rub out. Love that. Poe was anti-Raven establishment. Quote for the Raven and such, forevermore. Most of what I know about Edgar Allan Poe genuinely comes from Simpsons episodes. And I realise that actually, that is not unique. I suspect that there's several topics in the world that I only am aware of or have basic cursory knowledge of due to random parodies in The Simpsons. And I suspect I'm not alone in that opinion. Shout out to Big Raven. Yeah, he was a little bit of a... That was a cool show. Speaking of cool shows, I've always hammed on about in the past, not super frequently, but occasionally it's come up, about a show from the 90s called Ice Warriors. It was a similar like Gladiator style show, but it was set on ice. Right? Stumbled upon a YouTube video about it the other day, which I was able to show to Pog and be like, listen, this did exist and here's proof. It's a fantastic... There's a YouTube channel called Back in the Day. He does videos, quite literally, just about like 90s nostalgia stuff.
So I tell the swamp donkey,
fantastic channel. If you're into that kind of stuff, would highly recommend it. It's quite a small channel. It's got about 40,000 subs or something. Really, really good. Oh, what a save, man. Brexy, thank you for the follow. On Edgar Allan Poe, big up you. That's awesome. That's just a cool thing to watch. When I was ill on Friday, I went on a proper YouTube rabbit hole because YouTube was actually recommending me things that I hadn't already seen. It was brilliant. I watched all sorts of stuff. Got back into a few of the sailing vlogs again, which I hadn't watched for a while. Blyson from the Family Guy parody. Ooh. See, I didn't watch Family Guy enough to know that. It was always a very... This is another one of these like universal UK experiences, I suspect, right? So Family Guy always used to be on BBC Three quite late at night. Without fail, every single day, pretty much. And back when I was a teenager, sat in bed on my laptop or whatever, I'd always have the TV on in the background. And Family Guy was just always on in my periphery. So I actually absorbed most of Family Guy things through like osmosis, through being in the same room as it, rather than actively watching it. And I bet you I'm not the only one there either. Look at me with my hashtag relatable things today. You can start to believe that I'm a real human that goes outside occasionally. Okay, better not go that far, I guess, but ranch bar there? Don't know if I want to do that, my friends. Anti-inflammatory drug be given to adults? Really? Wow. Don't go that far. Yeah, you're right. I tried to do that thing. Say the relatable thing and then pretend to blend in. It's like that dragon meme. I'm still the derpy dragon at the end of it. You being an AI? Trust me. AI has not yet come along enough to be able to make a human being as incompetent as me. It would have to develop further, incredibly, to go backwards. The Hello Fellow Kids hat. I think that was James that actually made that meme within 30 seconds of me putting that hat on. Probably one of my favourite things from this entire save, in terms of just random jokes. That and the gif of me, well, you know the gif, SYC Shake. Magpie. Yeah, so Magpie is another thing that has quite a weird significance in the UK, and again, this may be true outside of the UK. Who else does the Hello Mr. Magpie, how's the wife and kids thing when they see them? Or is that just my very weird... I was on the way to a gig once with the bassist in my band back in the day, and he started doing it, and I was like, what are you doing? It's like a good luck thing. And I've done it ever since then. And it's the strangest thing, I realised, but yeah, it's always like, hello, Mr. Magpie, how's the wife and kids, and a little salute. Even if I'm driving, I'm like, what? It's worse when there's a flock of them. You've got to go off for ages. Outside's too outdoorsy. Don't blame you. Although today, it's shit again now. It was like a 15-minute period where it was actually lovely outside. I actually had to pull the curtain across because it was getting too light in here. Crazy times. Yeah, you salute them. Precisely. Go on. 2-0 now, and it's... Oh, it's Nigel. I'm glad of him, actually. Nigel, I feel hard done by on Nigel, because the second half of the season, due to the arrival of the two big boys, Nigel's playing time has definitely stepped back a lot. But I feel like he's going to become the next Karamov-type player that is just so clutch when needed. But I want to give him more game time next year, and I think he'll get it just because more games. Australian bird. Well, I mean, magpies are... endemic is the word? We have magpies here. Quite a lot, in fact. How you mate? Oh, interesting. So does that... because I know some people do have different ones they say, depending on the number of magpies. For me, it was always the number of times you said it. Sounds like I need to abbreviate a little bit more and stop annoying Pog. Yeah, that's true, actually. If you... you're just trapped in your house perpetually because of the magpies. She's like, I don't have agoraphobia, I promise. I can't deal with the magpies right now. Invasive, I see. I know, we're all right. 1 for Sora, 2 for... That's it, yes. The reason for 1 for Sora, 2 for Joy Rhyme is that magpies mate for life. Aww. Monogamous animals I do find very cute. Penguins. Geese as well, I believe, are monogamous. Violent, but monogamous. It's violent monogamy. It's the worst kind, really. Yeah, we don't have a... Actually, we do have a surprisingly good sort of bird population in our garden, to be fair. We have quite a lot of like trees and bushes. Even after we had all those bushes taken out last year, we've still got a, what's it called, a sloe tree in the garden, which in the summer is an absolute pain in the arse because sloe berries are quite big and they just fall off. And then when you put in the washing out, you'll accidentally stand in one and it is like standing on a plum and it just goes everywhere. Oh, as if. I hate to draw your attention back to the save. We've just thrown away a 2-goal fucking lead against Legia. In stoppage time. I get all the goals. Ladybirds? Does that count? Shit. Yeah, we've completely cooked ourselves there. Oh, they've had 2 shots on target. I don't think Jagiellonia have won, though. I think they might have... Oh, go on. Imagine we win it now. Imagine we lose it now. Actually, yeah, imagine we lose this game and it's the catalyst for us suddenly just losing the title race after being so comfortable. If we win this game from this position, and if this highlight feels like it does have legs to it... Oh, hang on a minute. It's Nigel. Come on, Nige. Win it for us here and you will be Big Nige forever. No! Oh my God. It's a great pass. He's done all he can there. What a chance. Please end the game now, referee, though. Only we are allowed to extend past stoppage time. There we go. We probably should have got the dub in the end. Hopefully Jagiellonia are either... Oh, they drew. What happened to Cracovia? They lost. They are firmly bottling the title. In fact, I'd say they've probably bottled it now. Well, does that count? Because that just doesn't update yet. It's 3 points between us and Jagiellonia. Bear in mind, we won the title last year with 62 points. Did you play? You've not been playing that much for them, and I don't really know why. Given how good you actually are. Wow, look at the form. At this rate, they're never making Europe now. They're absolutely done. Which sucks, because we really could have done with someone like a Legia and Lech Poznan in Europe. Having almost entirely new teams in Europe next year is not going to do us many favours because of the coefficient stuff. But that's always what seems to happen. The fact is, Nigel scores in the 85th, and I assumed that was Dunzo's. And now look what's happened. Right. I think we're still okay. Losing that would have been worse. I'm going to yell at them, though, because Dusan Obradovic has had a couple of poor games in a row. Concerningly. Did you start? Oh, of course, against us. Yeah, sorry, my bad. I forgot you were in there too. So, how are you actually doing out of interest? It was cracking. I'll show you the youth intake, because if you missed last stream, I'll show you the youth intake players in a minute. Classy C. So the way he's playing football, he'd probably be doing better than that anyway. Andre. Here you are. You're so goddamn good. I feel like they've really underutilized you this season, in honesty. 18 appearances in the league feels low, to be honest, considering how good you are. It must just be that they've got stacked players in that position. You do have an assist. I'll tell you what, and the next season, when it comes to me doing the next Patreon roundup, you might be firmly towards the top of that. Piast might well be about to go down. Bear in mind, they could still be in Europe. We need to check that, actually. There is a chance that they could still be in Europe while getting relegated. Has the battle changed a bit? Yeah, it kind of has, actually. they've fallen through the floor. At the start of stream, there was 2 points between these, between 17th and 12th. Polonia won another game. They still got relegated, but they have won another game at least. Oh, please don't get relegated. Are they deservingly down, or are they just getting screwed? Jesus, they are minus 11. They should have 11 more points than they do. Well, rip. Also, hang on, where were we on that? Wow, we've overperformed. That's mostly Sane. We should be 4th this season. As usual, we just do things. It's so strange. We've yet to have a season that's had a... We've not had a season where we're the better side and we win the league easily and deserve to do so. This year, I think we will manage to win the league a little bit more comfortably, but whilst also having some luck in there because of Sane, which means next year we may not get that luck. So, the youth intake that we got, I don't think it will still show up under... Actually, it might do. Yes, it will. Okay, cool. So the 2 players that really stuck out from the youth intake this year were these 2. Originally, they were 4.5 stars. They've since been changed to 5, which is always good. So I finished my hole. I'm going to switch back to water for a little bit. We have Maciej Piakowski, who is genuinely filthy. Like, a couple of years, and he'll be knocking on the door of the first team, which is exciting. Now, Abdullahi should have played, and maybe he shouldn't have done. Maybe I will blame you. I won't. Oh, so there are different types of... Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting, actually. I've always grown up seeing magpies. Certain bird... I feel like sometimes there are some birds you see more frequently than you used to, perhaps. Look at us with our bird chat. That's a rarity on these streams. Other than geese, of course. Yeah, he's fantastic. The other guy isn't as good CA-wise yet, and clearly isn't as highly rated as him, but he looks decent. And... we've got Adam Chook, now we just need Eve Chook and we're ready to go. Red kites, yep. Red kite is my mum's favourite bird. Every time I see a red kite when I'm out and about, I just think of my mum. And that's nice, right? I sort of associate red kites with her. Did you know red kites often thought of as a bird of prey, but they're actually not. They're actually considered a carrion bird. There you go. Fun facts with Matt.